right
We were
now.
already streaming.
No, I was waiting.
Oh, yeah. I told them to start whenever. I thought you guys were talking, because you were talking about Charon and stuff. I was like, oh, we already started the death segment without me.
No. They haven't even started the game.
Yeah.
That was just Charon stuff.
Yeah, it was just us talking about Karen. Speaking of us talking, hey guys, how's it going? It's your boys. I got Hortluz, that's me. Hi, how are ya? We got a Dasher, or a Dashu123. He'll be joining me on the cast whenever he gets around to it. But for our death segment, we have two new-ish faces. One, you might not have heard of him if you're on the Capricorn Discord, but you should be. Loshak, he's our current CEO. And Crouton Crusader. He's been around once or twice, but the only thing I remember him by is some sick Scylla gameplay.
Oh, yes. I do remember those Scylla games. I think we casted a couple of those Scylla games.
Oh, we most definitely did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. But yeah, no, if you haven't seen me, you're an idiot. Just open your eyes. Really.
Very true, very true. We'll also be having some other people come in and out throughout the day as we are having our Interorganizational Tournament. Which organizations do we have here, Loshak?
Multi-org, by the way, not inter.
I mean, it's an inter-org.
We have representation from the Ruined Order and PGD.
Alright, right on.
Casey, of course.
Inter-multi means the same thing.
No, don't think it does.
I think it's intra.
No. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Get him, Crouton, get him.
Oh, no, because intra would be within your own, inter would be within multiple.
I heard inter.
No,
sorry.
intra is between...
It's the internet, right? You're connecting multiple machines to the same thing. It's the same concept. I looked this shit up, motherfuckers. I looked this shit up before I even did this.
I think you may be right, Lochak.
But howdy. Yeah, we're gonna be waiting. We've been waiting here for 16 minutes. Don't mind us. We're still waiting on people.
I'm gonna go check on them real fast, see exactly what's going on.
Alright, right on.
Yeah, so...
Who are you?
I mean, what are you guys hoping to see today?
I'm hoping to see some good Smite.
Some good Smite.
Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for.
Some winners, maybe?
Some
bankers?
I'm hoping to see some relatively quick games. I don't want to have everyone be, all over the place for this whole multi-org tournament, inter-organizational tournament. Doesn't fucking matter. Same shit. But actually, we have a sponsor. Sponsored by Hi-Res. Sanctioned by Hi-Res.
Like, wait, what? Yeah, so this is going to be our first tournament of many, hopefully, that is sponsored by Hi-Res here. So, first place is 500 gems. Let's see here. I don't want to lie to anybody. First place, 500 gems. Second place, 300 gems. Third place, 200 gems per person. So it's not a lot, but it is something that, it's not nothing, right? On a Saturday afternoon. It does look like we started going in here. So, Crouton, what are you really looking for these first few bands kind of coming through here?
Well, I'm looking at I think the ADCs are pretty, there's a stark two that are above all the other ones. Mm-hmm. Hachi and Anher. So, I'm going to see if these teams think the same as me.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, but the first two bands that we got going out here is the Charon and the Thoth. Charon, one of the most popular supports going out now. Something we were kind of chatting about earlier was the viability of Charon in solo. I personally think he's pretty viable as a solo laner, but he doesn't really do exactly the same. He's more of a poke kind of guy rather than get up in your face. But his poke is very, very strong. Those next bands being the Kuzenbo and the Odin. So you mentioned,
speaking of solo laners, both of which are very strong.
Those ADCs have not came out yet, though.
Yeah, I do know that Thoth that Pineapple is famous for his Thoth gameplay.
Okay.
There's one of the ADCs.
Yeah,
Hachi getting a ban.
I mean, Hachi's super annoying. He's fairly safe with everything, but that on her did not wind up getting banned. So those bans wrapping up being the Charon, Kuzenbo, Hachi, and then the Kook, Odin, Thoth on the other side. Definitely looking more towards the mages over there for free agent 2, and PGD kind of looking towards that duo / frontline. So right now, what are you really valuing for top pick? Cthulhu definitely not what I would say.
So I have seen Cthulhu quite a bit. Britorch's Cthulhu specifically, and he goes pretty hard on it. Played against him. I don't know. Let me get the stats for that game.
All right. There we go. I mean, something that I was kind of thinking of with that Cthulhu is typically if you have a Cthulhu, you're picking Achilles, Thanatos. Thanatos already picked up. Granted, Achilles kind of fallen off now that Guardians are kind of dominating that solo lane role with the addition of the Conduit Gem buff and that 50% cooldown. So I really don't value that Cthulhu top pick even a little bit, truly. I definitely think it's like a second, third pick, maybe even the last bottom 2, but I do understand that he has been buffed and his lane clear is much, much better than what it used to be. So it looks like we're getting a Rama Thanatos on the side of free agent 2. Fairly safe picks.
Yeah, that Rama and Thanatos can both go up into the sky. And he did go 4, 2, and 13 on the Cthulhu into a Thanatos.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So he has some experience.
Yeah. Definitely some experience in that matchup. But yeah, I mean, the Rama's fairly safe. I mean, you're never gonna get absolutely rocked as that Rama, right? You still have fairly good lane clear, even if you are behind with your astral arrows. You have your Rama ult to kind of bide your time, especially if that Thanatos is coming over. However, Athena Cthulhu definitely does change a lot of that. The extra mitigations that Athena's able to give on top of that Cthulhu ultimate could definitely be devastating.
Yeah, and you can never count out the extra damage from the ult either.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's probably going into the support most likely, but oh my gosh, an X-Ball. This is already a very good upper echelon draft here. That X-Ball not only ulting for just the sake of having the ult, but it's also going to cover up the Cthulhu. It's going to cover up the Athena whenever she's ulting. So she could ult in, ult out, and you have no idea until it's too late. So
Yeah.
looking over here, it looks like we're going to go towards that Ganesha. I don't mind Ganesh. What are you feeling like Ganesha's standing kind of here and these against the other team?
Cthulhu's gonna have a bit of trouble. He's sort of ability based. Athena, can she get silenced out of her taunt?
Out of the taunt? No, I don't think so.
I don't think she can get
her ability
silenced
isn't
out
like
of
a
the
charge
taunt.
or up there or anything, so it just kind of happens.
Yeah, but it can be stopped if this Ganesh is on his play.
Right. I definitely feel like the Ganesh is more of just being able to block the Cthulhu rather than the Ganesh's silence. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, don't get me wrong, a Ganesh is always...
He could add a bit of damage from the shred of his ult.
Right.
That could be a possibility.
Yep. That Scylla, though, I think the Scylla is going to be very big. You can't really miss the Cthulhu with your Crush or your Ultimate, or really any ability that you have. Anybody. So it's going to be pretty tough for this Cthulhu, especially with Thanatos Scythes and Ultimates, as well as those Scylla Crushes. Now, going on to the other side here, they do have those bottom 2 picks here. They do need their mid and their jungle, potentially. The Athena could flex into jungle. I've seen it multiple times here lately. And it depends on their team comp. Their team comp makes sense for it, so it could definitely be something that they flex.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure who they have in support. I think it might be Steiner. But very familiar faces for me on this
Blue Star?
BGG team. Blue Stars are ADC.
Okay.
100%.
Gotcha.
I believe
Yeah.
Stepdad's jungle, Birdwork solo, Pineapple mid, and it'd have to be
Gotcha.
senior support.
A very interesting pick here, the Bastet into the Ganesh. I don't really like that, truly. I mean, Bastet's big thing is she's able to jump in, jump out, and they take away that ability to.
It looks like we've had a little bit of a technical issue. Someone either didn't get a pick off in time, or someone couldn't pick. But let's go ahead and talk about those drafts, boys.
Well, I do know Bastet is one of the like highest rated junglers right now. I know a lot of people are liking Bastet.
A lot of people are loving Bastet, and it's due to this new Bobble build. Have you guys been playing around with Bobbles recently?
Oh yeah.
I have in the jungle.
There we go. Doesn't matter who I'm on. 50% cooldown. Doesn't matter.
I feel like it takes away a bit of the power. I mean, it's like 30 power on mages, which is pretty
I mean, for
feelable.
mid laners, I feel like it's definitely something that you have to be choosy on who you're doing it. I don't think it's something that you can just always have, unless you're like Morgan Le Fay, a Hera, something along those lines that are kind of supporty.
I know
Mid-laners, that's what I
Giannis
think, but Giannis, obviously the mobility, the being able to
only having one damage ability.
Yeah. Right, really, yeah. So I mean, that extra 10% is definitely massive.
Also, I just want to remind everybody in chat, don't be stream sniping. Mute the stream while you're in game. Don't worry, we'll be here. You can watch the VODs after.
Yep. Definitely don't be stream sniping here. This is a legitimate tournament. So definitely don't want any of that legitimacy being taken away by scumbag people. Don't be scumbag.
And don't worry, we're always watching.
I know Pineapple and Blue Star are on a team already. Mm-hmm. They're in the PGD VOC. Mm-hmm. But Steiner and Stepdad are, well, call-ups from a higher division. So
gotcha. So kind of a mixed match of their own organization there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, hey, I mean, it's not a bad shout. You always want to show that you're loser, low shack. How dare you? You always want to put your best foot forward, especially with this first multi-org tournament here. I know a lot of these haven't really shown up in a long time, so for some of these newer orgs, you want to put your best foot forward for sure, because this is their only representation here in the tournament. So they definitely probably combine some things to try to give them the best chance.
Can you tell me more about this free agent 2 team? Are they a long-standing team?
Definitely no, because that's the literal free agent portion, right? So
let's talk about the long-standing team of a free agent 2 team. They decided to name themselves that. We aren't quite sure what exactly was going on with it.
No.
But
a bit of a joke after free agent. The first free agent team was made.
Right, but no. So we have Commando, and I think Mini Cups came together. Mast and Jay play together, and I think Nate the Great. These are their Discord names. I think Nate the Great is the only one that's not really a part of anything there. But it's 2 and 2, and then 1 rando.
Sounds like my ranked games.
Correct.
Right. So I mean, if they're rank grinders, they should be pretty comfortable in terms of that. But the 2 that are together are the solo and carry, I think, and then the support jungle are together, so the mid should be the rando.
Alright, so here's hoping they don't go through picks and bans all again and they just informed each other, but I don't think we got that way. We'll see exactly what's going on.
I definitely think this is a normal ban session here.
I believe so. Here's hoping they remember exactly what they picked and banned in the right spot. By the way, Brit Orc was a support for this team.
Oh,
So please keep that in
with
mind.
the contraband in solo.
Wait, what the
Oh,
heck?
this is ranked ban.
What?
That's what
That's
this
an interesting
is.
way. They already had all the bands done.
They did
So
already have all the bans done, and they can.
Okay, so they. Oh, I see what they're doing. I actually
I
don't
think they
mind
might
that,
have
so
been
they're still
scared
able to
of
show it.
forgetting.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
know.
think they
Right.
did this so you can still see what they banned, but they're still just picking for themselves.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
maybe
don't
yeah.
yeah.
mind that actually.
That's actually a really smart way to do it. Whenever
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
messes this up, they're picking
yeah.
Cullen up top, which is interesting.
Well, no, they're going back through,
Yeah, they're
so
going
it
back
was going to go
through.
those two,
Well,
and then
no,
that one.
yeah, it was Rom up first, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was the Rama. Yep. But they, I don't know if you can switch, so they may just be picking for
Uh,
themselves.
Flank buddy.
if they had the ROM, they still
There
need
we
to
go.
yeah,
Yes, they do
still
need
have
to
to
Yeah,
keep
keep
the
the
they
ROM.
still
ROM.
get the Rama. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I actually
so
don't mind. I actually do appreciate that they did it.
Jay likely just going to be picking for himself here, if I had to take any guesses. E-set. This is the pick that I
Oh.
wanted to talk with Dash about, and we'll get to that whenever we're actually in game. Because I know we
Wow.
love the Dash set here.
Yeah, definitely not something I would have thought about there, Crew Tom.
Yeah, that's not something I've seen on either.
Yeah, and you said Pineapple was their mid lane, correct?
Yep, he's their
So-
mid laner.
Wow. I mean, that's very safe. Very interesting. Into the Thanatos, you don't really have any getaway ability. It's more of, I'm going to fight you in my ult. Either you're going to land on me or you're not. But with that Cthulhu Athena, I think this is going to be a very, very devastating team to try to dive.
I'm not sure how the ult is going to do into the burst that they have with the Scylla ult, Thana ults, you know.
Yeah. Actually, also, we didn't really get to talk about it. I hate the Kakalin here. I don't think he's really going to do anything. Obviously, they didn't get to see that E-set. They probably talked about it, though. But either way, I really hate the Kakalin with a passion. I would much rather have seen something like even a Guan. I know that they have a silence and a taunt. But Kakalin can't really get in. Sure, you can blink alt, but, I mean, it's in a... What are you gonna do? Blink alt the X-Ball that's going to dash away, or blink alt the E-set that's warning you? You know, like, there's no real good initiation here besides the Thanatos ult. Don't get me wrong, Thanatos ult's good, but I'm just not happy with that Kakalin pick.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't.
it would have been Colleen last pick, right? Because we already knew
Yes, yes,
Yes.
it would
Yep.
have, yes.
So this
So
is them kind of dropping onto their own fault there, unless they already talked about what each team is picking.
All the picks came out pretty fast. I think they already.
Yeah, they most likely already talked about it in DMs. That's probably why it took a little bit longer to get set up and going. I hope they put a low spectate on. Doesn't look like they did, unfortunately.
Well, Mikey,
but,
we'll wait for a few minutes so we can all
yeah,
talk about it.
regardless here, I mean, we have the Rama Scylla for your back line here, and then your dive's going to be the Bastet, Cthulhu, and probably the Athena. And then on the other hand, you have the Scylla, Rama, Ganesh back line. What are you kind of favoring here, Crouton?
I feel like I'm favoring Chaos's side. Just they have a lot of shutdown for the
Yeah.
Cthulhu,
Right.
and then, I mean, the Ganesh is going to be able to peel his Rama pretty well. Scylla shouldn't need as much peel,
Right. Right.
but
Yeah, I definitely
Bastet could
do
follow
agree
her
with you.
dash.
Yeah, it definitely depends on. I think a lot of it relies on how well this Ganesh plays. Ganesh can completely shut down the initiation with the Bastet dive, the Athena dash, pretty much anything Cthulhu could ever dream about doing, while your backliners are dumping damage in. But on the other hand, I don't think the Kakal and Thanatos are going to be able to dive this E-set X-Ball very well at all, especially when those lights go out.
I think they might have to play front to back. I feel like Blue's playing a very. They want to get in. They want to just kill the Rama.
Yep.
And the Scylla and just overload the Ganesha. And Red sort of wants to play front to back.
Yeah, I think that they definitely have to, but I keep going back to this Kakolan, which does not play front to back very well at all. But it does look like we're heading into game number 1, and I'm going to hand that off to Hort and Dash.
All right. Well, hey Dash. You know it's been a while. How have you been doing, buddy? How's everything been going on?
I'm doing pretty well. Had to move a couple times, but no bueno there. It's all good though. I'm trying to get set up on my end as well.
Yeah, Dash is a known mobile fiend, unfortunately. And given that he is a mobile fiend, it this happens to not work out for him a lot of the time. Hey, the spectator actually decided to work for me today. Let's go, Dash. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, baby. All right. You know, actually, I should probably avoid cursing as much as I normally do. We'll see how that actually ends up working out. But, hey, how's it going? They were talking a lot on the desk about Cucullin and his lack of true initiation onto this mid laner if they are playing the E set correctly. However, I want to talk to you about the missed potential for Achilles in this solo lane. Achilles into Cthulhu is a matchup that is quite literally a tale as old as time, at least for Cthulhu's release. How would you have felt about that over this Cucullin?
I'm not a huge fan of Achilles right now. I think he ended up eating a bunch of nerfs a while back. Got a couple buffs back in return, but it's just Fatal Strike is never going to be a 100% guaranteed landed move. And you would much rather have something a little more backline oriented to get to this Rama E set. Especially with the Thanatos that wants to dive in later into a fight. And Cucullin is very tanky.
Yeah, and I do agree. I do actually like the Cucullin here. I am a huge fan of Cucullin anyway. But, again, maybe a missed opportunity still.
Also
Nike
not
was
100% in tuned with the meta. Just because I have not played too much Smite recently.
Bobble. Bobble is the meta. Yes, Bobble builds have been running rampant, likely for good reason, because, you know, why wouldn't you? Right.
Right. I guess if you have the option for 50% cooldown, you're going to take it, right?
Exactly, right. No detriment on the 50% cooldown. We'll go ahead and switch over to Duo. I think we're about to see some sparks fly in Duo. What do you think, Dash?
I think we're going to see the normal skirmish that goes on, but nothing
major.
Insane on here.
I'm a bit surprised that Red Team is getting the wave advantage here. With an Athena, you'd expect them to have a little bit more presence. But I think Athena ended up getting her dash. No, she does have taunt. Interesting that she didn't try to taunt Ganesh off the ADC or do anything like that. Notably, wards have been placed, and a gank was attempted by the Bastet, but not really followed through on. As
you see the mid 2v2 skirmish going on.
Yeah, the mid 2v2 skirmish is going on, but it is the standard mid 2v2 skirmish, unfortunately. Not much going anyway. Little itty bitty poke battle. And the splitting of the mids. Again, this constant that's been almost in the meta for about a year now, I want to say.
Yeah, it's just really hard to kill those mid-harpies just being a mage without items, or just your jungler.
Speaking of which, we do have a little bit of poke onto the Scylla, about 200 HP left on her. Good play by the Bastet, but I think a better play by the Thanatos if he can end up getting more damage off. No, unfortunately, not enough damage. But Bastet is spotted on ward. They should know that they are there. And instead, Rom kind of holding his ground. He's right. Not really there for it. I'm interested to see how the Chaos team, our KC Free Agent 2 team, plays this. And they play back. A little bit of a wasted potential, I think. Especially by this Thanatos. Knowing Bastet was over there, could have attempted to steal those back camps.
Right. And then how do you,
Speaking of which, I think that's exactly what Thanatos is doing. What's going on, Dash?
Yeah, I think this Bastet here is super late on her camp timers. If I was Thanatos, I'd also probably just go take speed buff while I'm at this.
Or blue. Speaking of blue, however, Bastet is on her way towards the blue buff.
Not
Spotted
popping
out
the
the
Chester.
Thanatos. Not popping the Chester. Bad form, bad form.
Alright, it's 25 free gold just for knocking that thing open.
It is 25 free gold, but they did end up stealing away those tiki camps. Whenever you're invading a tiki camp, do you take the whole camp, or do you leave one up? I'm just curious.
I leave the big one up. I just take the smalls.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of leaving up a small if possible, but I think I am agreeing with you here. It's a lot more simplified and clean when you leave one of those pieces of farm up to try to delay their tikis. But then
Right.
invades are a little bit more precarious, right? They're aware that you're scum.
And then, since I haven't been playing much, is ESET really viable in the meta right now, or is this a weird pick?
So ESET recently got a buff to Wing Gust. With this new with this new ESET buff, it comes out. I think. Remember when they changed Brutalize on Fenrir?
Yeah.
They did that exact same thing to Wing Gust, and because of it,
Okay.
that damage coming out that much faster has made her more viable in mid compared to how she was before.
You got Thanatos looking over at dual lane right now.
Thana is looking at duo, and I don't think they know that Thana is here. It's interesting to see them wait this long to get their people poked out this far, as now Plank ends up rolling in. They're looking for the Athena. They're trying to find a good ohm from Ganesh means that
Oh, this is gonna
Brit
be
Orc
first
is
blood for
most
Red Team
definitely
right here.
going to get first blood. Jay likely gets the bestowal on that, but now Bastet doing that same exact play to the Thanatos. Your bat camps are now mine. And again, taking all of it.
Also, not taking the roamings is really bad. I think I'd rather you take the roaming camps as well, the roaming harpies, because that's just XP you're denying to the enemy team.
Agreed. However, I do like the idea of leaving the roamings up if you're going for a gank. If you are not looking to gank any of the side lanes, especially that solo lane,
Right.
leaving the roaming camps can give them a false sense of security. However, if you aren't looking to gank, just deny the XP, grab a little bit of your own, and it will most definitely work out better for you. Let's talk a little bit
How
about
long does,
builds as well, while we're at it.
Right.
Athena going the Prophetic Cloak. I know you have a hate-hate relationship with this item.
Yeah. It makes you play a very aggressive playstyle, which on Athena is okay because you're dash
Oh,
daunting.
we have a little bit of a, oh my god! Bastet ult ends up connecting, forcing out the Thanatos beads. We just barely caught it here on the solo side of the map. Thana does end up getting the kill onto the Cthulhu, which is great for their solo laner, because they were falling a little bit behind in XP. But it's now... That was a beautiful snipe by the Bastet. Speaking of snipes, we have a little bit of a skirmish here between the duo laners. Red team does end up securing this purple buff, and now Plank and Jay are here. They're ready. Unfortunately, ESET is also here and ready to party. Going towards this ROM, they do know that ROM speeds are down. And this should just be a relatively free kill. Good ult, 1-2 snipes is all you need, and that's it. Plank takes out the Shablanque for the return kill. A good reach, however, from Brit will end up taking the ROM's life as well. 1 for 1, a trade for a trade, as Jay gets away with their life, forcing out, I believe, the ESET and the Athena ultimate.
Wild. The
Wild
ESET
play.
decided to hold her ult there instead of insta-popping it before the Ganesh could silence her, but
Well, not only that, it's also weird that ESET didn't pop the ult in the middle of the Ganesh ult,
right.
or in that jungle corridor. ESET ult, one of the best ways to do that. Oh, that's tragic for KC Free Agent 2.
Nice.
Ends up stealing away all 3 of those mid harpies with that spirit ball. Man, that is rough. That is a rough mental loss there. How do you think Mini Cups and Jay are going to come back from that?
Reset mental. Go next, boys.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like at this point it might as well just be done. However, speaking of being done, the Thanatos did end up getting a kill early onto the Cthulhu, but Catholine's still about a half level behind. We can see that a little bit more if I remember which one is XP needed. Oh my god. Yes, I believe that is about a half level up. A good Bastet ult means that it forces Commando in an awkward situation. Thana ends up whiffing their ult, and it just turns out a 1 for none. Solo laner for nothing. But all ults used on this side of the map.
You know, this Cthulhu's getting a pretty decent lead here.
Yeah, I think at this point now about a full level up. As I think we just saw something weird going on, which, by the way, speaking of weird, Bastet is on her way for this duo lane, trying to make sure that the purple buff doesn't get invaded again. As now Bastet is hanging around in the jungle, taking and denying that farm as we were talking about. As now all of our boys are relaxing. I think we're vibing. As, actually, go on, Cthulhu is getting gone on by the Thanatos here, because he tried to invade a blue buff and was told, no, you, in return. A good
Would really
sentinel
like to
from
see-
Scylla means that she should be living here. Oh, uses the Crush
Bastet 2
as an
connected,
attempt for
not enough.
self-peel, but not enough damage on that Bastet 2. No Hydras or Soul Eater yet.
Right.
Bastet. Not enough damage.
Would you rather go Transcendence here or Hydras on Bastet? I think I'd rather have Transcendence.
I would rather have the Transcendence in this slot, and I would have Trans Soul Eater, if I could.
Right.
That's one of the ways to make the bobble build more viable, is maintaining that increased mana, and then having significantly better health sustain. But I'm interested to see if they even go the Bobble build. There has been some discourse in the Bobble community of maybe Bobble not being it. However, I can tell you Bobble is certainly it, Chief. As now Shablanke and Rom are having a little bit of their nice 1 versus 1.
Got a little thing going on in mid lane here.
A little bit of a thing
Maybe
going
just a
on
little
in
stare
mid.
up.
Bastet is they stole all 3 of those. So Jay ends up securing 2, with the
Nice.
Crush securing another one. The mental is back, boys. How do you think Rat Gang's going to recover?
Ooh, I don't know. I think now they're just talking about how even of a game it is.
Yeah, this
Probably,
one, honestly.
They
Speaking
both got really good scaling comps here, so.
Speaking of how even a game it is, you know, you'd think for the team with the kill lead, they would be up in gold. But no, about 1,300 in the lead is the free agent. Wait, I'm sorry. Is the Rat Gang team. How do you think this is going to end up playing out for free agent 2? 1,000, not necessarily much, but when we start going towards these objectives, how do you think they're going to end up playing around it?
Well, they already have an issue on objective secure, because ESET is the best objective secure in the game, if played correctly. Even better than this Scylla, who also has really good objective secure herself with I'm a Monster, but Thanatos beats forced out, though.
And a good scythe means that
Little
Thanatos
skirmish
will
mid.
still be able to heal off of that poke. And have a little bit of a skirmish in mid, that nice 3 versus 3. As well as some skirmishes kind of all over the map, you know. Speaking of skirmishes all over the map and what we were talking about game state and all that fun stuff, Cthulhu going a second item, what I believe is a Chronos Pendant. This is not normal, but how do you feel about it?
I don't really know, because most of the time with Cthulhu, you're going into your ultimate, you want to have more mitigations early to be able to use that to the fullest advantage.
A little
And
bit
I don't know
of
about
a
you,
weird
but
skirmish
Chronos
on
Pendant doesn't have its
I mean, I don't think Chronos
Yeah.
Pendant is it, Chief. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I would prefer to have like a prophetic cloak Genjis on my solo laner. As it looks like Rat Gang is just giving up the beacon to Free Agent 2. I know your opinion on that is not very high. But now that they have that 500 damage across all currently active structures on the map, how do you feel about it with the recent updates?
Which recent updates?
The 500 damage onto towers. It's been a while since we casted
right.
together.
I don't think it's that important. It can help you secure a tower late game. When you're like, oh, we got to get this T2 with 100 health in solo.
As we have a 3-man rotation onto this Colane, he's going to die here no matter what he does, unfortunately. As now we are looking for just the kill and nothing else. As Thana is in the air, they were looking for a gank onto this mid laner, but the mid laner perhaps a little bit too aware for that gank to go off smoothly.
I guess knowing that the Thanatos ult's down, I might be looking to pull this Pyromancer.
Or the Gold Fury, honestly. I would be very surprised if they don't pull the Pyro or Gold, and Pyro is the call here. A little bit of an early Spirit Bomb means that ESET will not be silencing that or helping their teammate. As now Scylla is looking for something, and I'm a Monster need to be used, and Rat Gang does end up getting that due to that Circle of Protection, the best secure in the game.
This is just a scratch.
As it was rather close, though. Rather a little bit of intrigue.
And I think we'll see that a few more times before this game is over. Still not too much of a gold lead. Only a couple thousand separating. Only about 2.4, give or take.
About 2.5k, 2.6 separating these teams currently as we pull up the graphs. And no, this is not Sneaky Caster. You have Hortluz and Dash Dasher, or Dash Shoe 123, whichever one you prefer.
So we're going back to normal farming here, just getting your camps done up, making sure your support gets 0 farm, yada yada.
Oh, of course. Yeah, as you do. Speaking of make sure the support gets 0 farm, 3 levels down for the solo laner of Free Agent 2. It is rough out here for the Kakolian. Not 2 levels down, but 2.5, more likely than not. I also want to talk with you about late game comp potential and what both these teams are looking to do. I imagine we're in agreement here that the blue team most definitely does have the better late game draft.
Right.
But I'm interested to see what your opinions are on why exactly that is.
So, Xbalanque scales really well into the late game due to his passive. Bastet always scales really well into the late game just due to her scaling on her abilities. And ESET is a menace come late game. One Spirit Ball for 800 to 900 damage is always going to rock you there. It looks like a little skirmish going on in mid lane, force the Thanatos ult.
But a Thanatos ult is the only thing forced from the side of KC Free Agent 2. As Bastet ult and Athena ult were used for this. I'm interested to see if maybe Free Agent 2 tries to pull anything off of this, knowing that they do have a little bit of an advantage. Speaking of advantage, we are advantageous here, Dash, as Bastet does end up going to Transcendence.
I like it. It's a good item.
Yeah, I do like the...
Especially now that you don't
no, buddy. That's a hard amount of damage. Scylla not having the beads available means that they just can't do much about that CC, that Athena taunt. Needs to play a little bit farther back.
Meanwhile, in the solo lane, Kakolian almost got soloed by this Cthulhu.
Again. It's been happening
That's
a few
a
times.
3-level difference. I really don't like the prophetic cloak coming off of this Cthulhu player either. You're already really far behind.
Yeah, Kakolian did end up buying that before he was that far behind, don't get me wrong, but I do have to agree. I think this Mystical Mail or the... Oh, okay, Rat Gang does end up getting that. No circle protections needed. As now Jay is in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to end up just falling here to the combined might of all 5 members of Rat Gang, as they're looking to group up and take as much farm as possible away from everybody on the side of the Free Agent 2 team. As now it's becoming a little bit of a massacre.
I just noticed that Cthulhu still has his shard.
He does. He does still have the shard. Why do you think he still has the shard? What do you think he's cooking up? Which, by the way, so does the Bastet. The Bastet also has the shard. As Athena
Oh, maybe
is
it's
used on Tabasco.
I would rather have the. I don't know what I want a second relic at this moment in time. Maybe it's I'd rather just have the cooldown shard ready to go whenever I can use it.
The good Sentinel means
sure.
that Scylla is able to just get away scot-free. As now Cuchulainn is in a little bit of danger, trying to fight this 3-level up ADC. This looks like it might be a go nexter, Dash. What are you thinking here? I don't think it's quite that bad yet, but it must definitely be that.
I don't think it's quite there yet, but I think we're almost
there, as Cthulhu does end up going up into the descent into madness, as Thanatos is onto the front line instead of the back line. Good beads means that the tower is going to live for a little bit longer, but the tower now falls to just about everybody there. Good taunt means that Jay is going to be looked at, but no follow-up damage from the mid or the jungler, as they now decide to reset, group back up towards the Pyromancer. Circle of Protections is up, so is I'm a Monster, so you need to keep an eye on these mid laners, as Britt ends up taking the back instead. Sorry, we were talking about something. Go ahead and continue with whatever you were talking about.
What were we talking about?
That's a good question. We no longer know. However, speaking of talking about something, we have a good start and deal with attempt for the Pyromancer. They're looking to just get something off of this, and Free Agent 2 does end up securing that bomb for their support. As now Plank is in mid. Interesting.
Really good call, knowing that the Xbalanque was going to be on this side of the map, and everybody but Cthulhu had just backed. So good call on the red team to.
That's good awareness
really
on the red team.
Play.
It's very good situational awareness on the red team. I'm interested to see who their shot caller is, trying to get them back into this game. Now, instead of that 7,000 gold lead we saw earlier, it's about at that 5,000 mark. They're starting to try to make their way back. But let's talk a bit more about the fight potential that we currently have going on, as the ADC is getting a little bit aggressive alone here, reminding me of a Barracuda special in early season 10. But nothing much done.
I think red team really needs to hunker down, make sure that they're confirming all of their farm on their side of the map as it spawns. Don't want to leave anything up for this Bastet to get her greedy little paws on.
I think I have to agree with that. Bastet, currently, again, one of the better junglers in the game, but they are not going the Bobble build.
And the Bobble is finished for this Cthulhu.
Bobble is finished for Cthulhu. It now has that about 55% cooldown with that Chronos Pendant passive. That is going to be brutal to try to deal with. A Beads second relic for Cthulhu, though, instead of, I don't know, a Thorns or something similar. Speaking of interesting relic selections, instead of going the Blink on Cuchulainn to try to just get in there more safely. Speaking of a heads-up play, though, all of red team now going towards the Fire Giant. No ward coverage from the blue team means that just about everybody on the side of the Fire Giant should.
Over a blue ward.
Ooh, that is
the Cthulhu
rough.
Teleport, but blue team is on the Oni Fury.
Yeah, blue team is on the Fury. This is a good fight to take for red if you're looking to get any type of advantage. But unfortunately, they just don't have. As Athena ends up actually ulting over for their main girl.
Oh, this could be a really big mistake.
Could be a very big mistake, as now there is just two on the back line. Good circle protections means that both carries for the Rat Gang should be just fine, as now the descent into madness is sprung. We have both backliners being gone on by this Cthulhu. Cthulhu likely able to just get this by himself, as the mid laner ends up taking out the jungler, and now the solo laner takes out the mid. Solo for the Free Agent 2 team is now destroyed, as the solo for the Rat Gang falls. It's a 1-for-3 trade with Rat Gang in the driver's seat for this one. It was a good attempt at an engage from Free Agent 2, but where do you think that all falls apart?
Well, it looks like the Rat Gang is going to be able to secure this Fire Giant without getting tested. Well, it might not be the best thing that your Cthulhu kind of overextended there away from his team, because now you don't have a Fire Giant Cthulhu. Not too important. but could matter later on.
You know, I'm interested to see if Plank tries to get the ROM snipes over. He does have the Astral Barrage. Circle of Protection, of course, going to be better secure, but the Astral Barrage could have ended up stealing that one away.
I think I like holding it for now, just because it does allow him to have that little bit of safety.
And it is only a 22-minute Fire Giant. You know,
Right.
Fire Giant, biggest objective on map, for sure, allows the team that has it to play much more aggressively. But it is only 22 minutes into the game. It's not the end-all, be-all for everything. Speaking of end-all, be-all, again, I want to talk about these relic selections and how exactly we're feeling about it, as Scylla in a little bit of trouble, but able to escape, likely, as the Sun Magnus is sprung onto this mid laner. Again, there's nothing you can do. There's no use, Scylla. You can't be out that far without anyone nearby. It's unfortunate, but another death onto this mid laner. As we might hopefully be able to talk about these relics soon, Dash. Thunder for Cuchulainn.
Right.
Great into Cthulhu. Not great as Cuchulainn. What more do you think
I would have
about
rather my Ganesh ended up with these summons. Probably Sunder Shell, and then one of your backliners probably would have ended up need to pick up a sprint over the Aegis this game.
You know, maybe even just a sprint and a Sunder. Two relatively aggressive relics now that Frenzy has been transitioned onto the sprint. But that's two tier 2 towers down for Free Agent 2 and about a 10,000 gold lead for Rat Gang. This is not what you want to see for the relatively early game draft for Free Agent 2.
Right. I mean, they do have pretty good scaling into the late game. The Rama is already 20, so he's just about set to rock and roll. And then you also have a Thanatos Scylla. I just think that this Cuchulainn did not pan out the way that they had imagined it going for them.
Yeah, I have to agree. Honestly, I think I would have even preferred the King Arthur, as Commando does end up securing his own blue buff, as now the Descent into Madness is going off. A good Sunder and a good ultimate means that he won't be taunted back, but it might not be enough, as it is not enough, as Pineapple does have to use the Circle of Protection to end up securing that kill onto the solo laner for Free Agent 2. But an attempted invade and a successful secure for the red team. Now, at this point, Cuchulainn might as well be worth less than dirt. So,
right.
Hey, we take those.
You know, I just noticed this Athena still hasn't finished her starter item.
Yes, that's been a constant thing. Speaking of the finished starter item, though, let's talk about this heroism. I know you probably love it with this Athena taunt and all the good amounts of CC on the side of Rat Gang. But what would you have thought about Compassion instead?
I really am kind of middling on Compassion, but it is a 3 magical comp, so you could have built a little bit more magical defense with the Compassion in there.
Or even just a Heartward instead of Sovereignty, maybe.
I just really think I would have preferred to have a one of the War Flag upgrades here. It just does a lot more for your team than getting one person a big meaty shield.
Yeah,
that late game isn't really going to matter that much if you get Athena taunted.
Yeah, because the heroism shield is going to be great, but it's not going to be the truth. You know, it's not going to be the end-all, be-all. Right. As again, we only see Bobble on Cthulhu this game. I'm a little bit curious about it. The E set, that makes sense to me, or just trying to get as much damage out as fast as possible with some good movement speed for utility. But Bastet with Bobble is what makes her so strong right now. So I'm interested on why that is. And Athena without Bobble as well is interesting.
So I'm pretty new to the whole Bobble meta, but Athena's only has 20% cooldown right now, and even with this last finished item, it would only be 30. So maybe itemization just wasn't in their favor. Also, only 17 stacks on Proc for 27 minutes into the game. Gotta love that item.
And we most definitely do love that item.
It's 14 on the Cuchulainn.
Yes, with the Kokolane especially, we love that item. Speaking of which, they did just get one more stack apiece, 18 and 15 now, respectively.
Like a little friendly poke battle in the solo lane just happened.
Just a small poke battle for sure. As now it's time for the next Fire Giant. Brit ends up getting this next bomb. It's now 3 bombs against 1, but in the wise words of someone that's actually paid to cast this game, it's not the bomb that matters, it's how you use it. And I would love to see them use it to secure this objective. As Athena's about to get knocked up, that's unfortunate. That's not in lore, buddy. Athena doesn't get knocked up.
Right.
As Circle Protection is there, Rat Gang does end up securing it, and Thanatos just ends up dying immediately to the combined effort of literally everyone on the enemy team. As now Solo Laner enters the Descent into Madness, and a good Bastet ult means that the enemy Kokolane is now dead. It's a 2-for-0 trade, and they secured the Fire Giant. As now Cthulhu is going in to tank this objective. A bomb onto the Phoenix means that this right bird will fall. As now, Plank ends up having to use both relics, but it might not be enough to get him to safety. It is, as now Shablanke very close to death, but a good beat Aegis on his part will end up making sure he stays alive. It is now a 2-for-0 and a bird down for Free Agent.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't try and push in for a little bit more there, knowing that the Rama did not have relics remaining, or any relics up.
Or ultimate. No ultimates on the side of Free Agent 2 at all, except for the Thanatos now, who had just respawned. I am a bit interested on why they didn't try to go maybe even for the end here. But while I have the player damage up, let's look at it a little bit. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
We have games like these, you know, that will happen. Games like these happen. But it's rough every time, buddy.
It is very rough when the Cthulhu is doubling the damage on everybody on your team.
Yeah.
Not a great time right there.
Definitely not a great time. The Cthulhu, definitely a menace this game, and something that I'm looking for Free Agent 2 to probably ban in this upcoming game.
Right.
As a reminder for my muted people in Discord, remind them not to start until, as Master Plank actually ends up getting pulled back and destroyed by this Bastet ult, as they now go for this dual lane bird, but reminder to let them know not to start until we are able to actually catch up. As now, it's a lot of damage, a good amount of destruction, and a Thanatos behind who has to go into that, what is that ultimate called? I forgot. Hovering Death, right?
Yep,
Yes.
Hovering Death.
For some reason I thought Scent of Death, but I'm pretty sure that's either his passive or his 2. As they just are playing the safer play.
And confirm that. This is the safer play. You got 2 Phoenixes down. You know that the duo side Phoenix will not be up in time for the next Fire Giant spawn. So might as well grab this Oni Fury, get whatever gold you can off the map, back, reset, finish items, finish relics, pick up wards, and then head back over to that Fire Giant. And Cthulhu picking up a 3k defense pot.
This Cthulhu is going to be impossible to kill, even more than normal, as he's picking up a speed buff as well. Taking that from his jungler. I mean, no blues needed. You know, I mean, he has enough MP5 in his build for that 50% cooldown, 55% if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of protections, a lot of tankiness. About 200 physical and about 170 magical. That might be all he needs with the mitigation as well. And he hasn't even popped the 3k pot yet. So they might not even be waiting for the EFG, they're just looking to push up now.
I'm curious if they just had a sneaking suspicion that Red Team wouldn't be ready for this defense, or what's going on. It might also just be a quick, hey, our FG's about to fall off, might as well see if we can get it or not.
It definitely could be, as Thanatos now in the air, having to beads out of the Bastet ult. As Cthulhu is now into that Descent into Madness. Thanatos tries to land the Hovering Death onto the Cthulhu, but Cthulhu ends up getting his life in return. As now it's a 2-for-0 trade, 1 minute off of their jungler and their mid laner, and that might just be it. as the rest of the team is now grouping up, going in and looking to absolutely destroy this Titan. Doesn't look like there's much you can do. It's no use, as the Rat Gang ends up taking this in impressive fashion.
Yeah, I just think they really didn't have an answer for this first pick Cthulhu.
I definitely
I think
don't
that is
they
the majority
did.
of the issue right there.
I think they had an answer. It just wasn't the answer that they needed. Oh, okay, that's
Right.
Wow, boys, what a game! What an absolute beat down there. Very back and forth in that early portion there. Crouton, I don't know if you were able to watch most of that game there, but I definitely thought that the boys in red, the KC Free Agent 2, had them in that first half, but definitely were unable to close that one out.
maybe the first quarter. We can agree with the first quarter.
The first quarter, yeah. The game went a little longer than what I think probably was needed there. Definitely.
Yeah, it
after
looked
that.
like they got a little. Those little two harpies XP got to their head, man.
Right, dude. They wanted it, man.
Most
They
definitely.
wanted it. Yeah, I mean, it just like I figured, this Cullen did absolutely piss all. Right. Don't get me wrong, they were camping them decently, but at the same time, Cthulhu was kind of just doing it on his own as well. Warriors are out, man. I don't know if Commander knows, but Warriors are out. Guardians are in.
With the exception of a few. But
Well, obviously.
if Cthulhu is up, you pick that one. That is most
they had
definitely the choice.
a Zingten and Kuzenbo ban though.
Right.
So-
Right.
They
So
did,
some of
but the
the
Jing
higher
Chen
end
was
Guardians, for
a bottom pick ban. So you could
Oh,
have
was
picked
he?
out the Jing Chen in the top 3 still.
Yeah, and I did let them know to kind of wait for us. I'm going to be letting them know that we are ready to go whenever they are. Let me message that.
And
But
just
yeah, something that
so we
I
can
need to see is or something that I need to see changing is the dive, the combination dive between the Cullen and the Thanatos. In terms of the free agent team here, I mean, truly, the Rat Gang just looked dominant across the board. The E-Set looked very good. The X-Ball was using his ultimate at really good opportune times. Athena, for the most part, had some very solid ults, and they just didn't feel like. I just don't feel like they had an answer for the Bastet.
no answer for the best
Side
set.
Whirlpool.
Side and Whirlpool. That could have been good.
Could have been. Or,
E-Set.
I mean, it should have been a Ganesh silence into anything from Scylla. That's really
Right.
what the answer should have been, or even the Thanatos collapsing. What we talked about earlier with Crouton here was that we wanted to play front to back, but those boys did not get the memo. They definitely, the Cullen was diving, the Thanatos was trying to dive, and not really getting much out of it, unfortunately.
Even Ganesh was trying to
definitely
dive for a
gotta
good
see-
portion of that game.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand the Ganesh pillars, but whenever it's a Cthulhu running at you, you have to save it for that Cthulhu. Every time. There's no real ifs, ands, or buts on it. You have to save your pillars for Cthulhu.
This
So I'm just
asset
looking
seemed
at
to
the-
work out pretty
Get stats here.
out of the park. there.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. I mean, we saw a lot of the attempted picks over the wall. We saw a really good one after that first blood in solo. I mean, definitely pulling beads for this Athena and this E-Set, so definitely made them more impactful for sure. Definitely not something that we normally have seen here lately, being that Bastet, but they played it at a very good level.
It is a lot of beats, man.
Yeah, I just want to keep harping on this Cullen. It was terrible, dude. It was terrible.
Speaking of harping on him,
We're all
they now
going
have
into
a
game
first
2,
pick.
Pizza fans, so get your last words with the Kokoli out now.
Dude, I know. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I want to act like it never happened. I know it happened. You're going to have to flip those two names.
I know.
But,
I know.
hey, just let you know, player.
Expected.
But yeah, so that Athena ban first
Athena
right off
ban.
the rip. Understandable.
Looks like
Mhm.
PGD might be keeping with their same bands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a reason to switch up. Unfortunately, it didn't look like the FA2 team had anything that was like really outstandingly good. So I highly doubt that they're going to switch anything up. Yeah.
And there's a
All right, that's
Cthulhu
fair.
band.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
the
That's
Cthulhu
fair.
band, not looking to play it, that makes sense. Odin
Right.
banned instead of one of those picks. I think it was Kuzumbo and Hachiman.
Yep. So actually, PGD banned the Kuzenbo and the Hachi. So definitely something. Well, there goes the Kuzenbo. So Hachi's up. So that could definitely be one of the top picks that we see FA2 go to. What do you want to see in this first pick slot, really quick, Crouton?
That Hachi's really good.
Oh, what a rat! He
Just-
said it after. Nope, liar. Nope.
Oh, Zinc 10 banned out in
That's a good one.
round 2. Looks
Yeah.
like
My green boy, my 023 ranked twin boy right there.
Wow.
all in the stuff.
Shin
As
Thoth.
Shinshin
That's
Thoth.
That's a dangerous combination there. But we definitely need something to pair with that Jingchen to be able to get those beads out. Agni Hachi. We're playing pretty safe here. We're playing pretty safe. What are we going to kind of pair with this Agni Hachi, you think, Crouton?
So support wise, I mean Charon is not up.
Oh, look at
Ares
that.
is, I guess that's more denial, but like they already have a Zinc 10 for the total, so I don't really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it because it stops the Jingchen jumps. It stops Thoth dash. Just the chains on its own can get beads. However, whenever you're in your Ares ult, don't get me wrong, I think it got mitigation not too long ago.
Yeah.
But you're a sitting duck for a Thoth ability, Thoth ult, whatever it may be. You might ult him, but he might just kill you before it goes off.
I suppose they may be trying to discourage the best stat.
Oh, true. I definitely think it's a possibility that they may go away from the best stat, but I mean the Ganesh couldn't really stop it. I don't see this Ares stopping it. Truly, I mean they need something else if they're going to go for that best stat. Maybe an RDO. Oh, Ganesh Shin. Wow.
They're gonna
I mean,
pick up the Ganesha into the
but
Athena.
at the same time, nothing's still getting beads for the Jingchen consistently, right? And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Jingchen may be the guy getting the beads. Maybe they go Daji. Maybe they go Fenrir, right? But they're probably not going to
So
go
we
Fenrir.
might be looking for some beat pool in the jungle.
Right. They may be more.
Don't really
set
get
up.
much in ADC.
No, I mean you could go Ishtar, I guess, but you know what? You know what's spicy that I would actually like to see into this team comp here from the red side is a Cupid. I know it's odd. But I would really like to see a Cupid into this.
All right, boys, I'm going to interrupt you
entire
here for a
game.
second. If I see a Cupid in this game, you guys are casting it. I
I'm just
hate
saying,
Cupid.
I would like to see it personally.
I hate Cupid, and I hate Cupid in this game in particular.
I mean, Cupid, Hachi just ults out. It's not really getting much use on his lane opponent, which is really what you want when you're picking Cupid.
Yeah.
You want, of course, the late game effect, but also the ability to like do it into a Cernanos or another ADC who doesn't get CC immunity.
Oh, sorry for cutting you off. But I really think that this Ganesh.
No.
Ooh, wait, hey, you better not be stream sniping though. You better not be stream sniping. If you're stream sniping,
Oh, I see this Cupid
you'll
locked
be
in.
banned.
If we see the Cupid locked, we're going to be investigating you guys.
You better unhover that boy if you're stream sniping. All right. If you're
Wouldn't
not,
it be the other way around?
yeah, that's what I thought, you dirty little snake. Yeah.
A reminder for all of our players in this tournament. At the very least, mute us during your picks and bans and your actual game, as we will be talking about what's going on in the game. If you are noticed and we are made aware of it, it will not be good for you and your
that
team.
would be an immediate disqualification, a potential disqualification of your org as a whole. So definitely don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to make your organization.
I'm pretty sure
owner-
there's like half a minute
Ooh,
delay on the stream
Well,
from
there is
anything
not.
happening.
But I talked about Cupid a while ago.
No, because of the spectating.
True.
Maybe.
Well, no, I think picks and bans are pretty live.
Picks and bans are good, and
Yeah, picks and bans are fine.
it's 3.
but
By the way, Chernobog.
Ooh.
They're gonna get the Hun bats.
I like that. No, I like that.
Oh, and the Bologna.
I like that. This is definitely a much better comp. Like we don't have this random Kakolan doing nothing all game. So you have the Hun bats either to set up for the Ares setting up for the Hun bats. But at the end of the day, Agni bombs are going to be dropped on someone's head without beads. Whoever doesn't have beads is gonna get rained on. And my guess, it's gonna quite often be this Ganesh. Now, how do you personally feel about your support getting first relic beads?
I feel like in game 1 they didn't put much focus on dual lane.
Yeah.
There's a possibility they could target this Ganesha,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like he'd be fine just getting absolution, like third item or so.
No, I get you.
Loki.
Yeah, I mean, Absolution. Whoa. A Loki. Very single target. I don't really. I guess you can just target. Yeah, right. CC immunity.
Yeah.
One set of beads. But, I mean, really the only way you're getting beads out of Jing Chen ult. Agni Dash much faster than Jing Chen ult can be shot off. So, I'm very interested in that. I mean, I just see people all things Jing Chen ult or even beating it if they have to. There's no real way to get those.
But
those beads off.
engaging off the Jing Chen ult could open up Loki ult, like
It definitely
opportunities.
Definitely could. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely going to be a much harder play-in than what they had previously with the Athena, the Cthulhu, right? Definitely much harder. This go around, definitely a much better draft from Order side. Who's your lookout player? Who are you wanting to see kind of stand out here from both teams?
Well, I think on Chaos, this Loki's gonna have to, he had good game 1 showing. With this Loki pick, he's gonna sort of have to have a good showing here.
Right.
Blue team, I'd like to see some safer play from this mid laner. He was getting cut out a lot on the Scylla. Happens to the best of us.
Hey, yeah, and definitely
sort of
a little bit better off there. But yeah, we're gonna throw it over to the casters here for game number 2.
Dash, dash, dash. When will they learn?
Hello.
When will they learn?
I have always been a proponent of it, and I will stick to it till the day I die. Ganesha's poo-poo bad.
Yes, yeah.
In 90% of circumstances. That character is a bait. He is a sitting duck target who has a pretty cool ultimate that is very hard to get a value out of. Meanwhile, you could play Aphrodite, kiss somebody, they get Ares ulted, and then boom, Ares ult nullified.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to not see the Aphrodite. However, I'm also glad because, that ain't Dash.
Yeah,
But-
it's, I don't know, it's not a hard pick to follow through with, but if you're having trouble with it, you're having trouble with it. I just really dislike this Ganesha pick. And then also this Ganesha does not pull beats first. He ends up going with the horrific.
I do see a little bit of a skin, but we'll see if they end up checking it out. I think that one might also be kind of whack.
Oh, you have highlights on. What are the highlights on?
I believe it's O, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's not O. O is the O is 100%.
It's alright. We'll figure something out. As, we have... Yeah, sorry. I need to plug in some batteries, don't mind me. A real life stops for
Oh, that is perfectly good for you. Imagine having to use batteries. She's just used a cell phone.
Oh, no, not that. I have some batteries for a weed whacker. Because we're going electrical. No gas here,
Yeah.
just electrical.
Saving the environment, all that fun jazzy jazz.
Yeah, except for the fact that this is probably coal-powered. It's where I get my electricity from. But we don't talk about that.
We're not here for that. We're here for smite.
I'm interested to see... Okay, Agni does end
related
up
bond.
choosing the correct ability here. And unfortunately, it kind of messes up his dash, but that's okay.
Right. And you can make up for that. It's
You
pretty
can,
good clear,
you can.
nonetheless.
As, again, I'm expecting Jay to have a little bit more aggression in this lane than he did before. What exactly are you looking for here?
Early kill on this Chernobog.
Early kill on the
Or at least
bot.
forcing an early back.
What about an early kill on the Ares, you know?
Yeah. When you start getting a little too aggressive and you eat a lot of wave poke and then you eat 6 Chernobog autos in a row, they don't do that.
Speaking of which, I do want to talk a little bit about this Bologna going Death's Toll instead of the kind of normalized Warrior's Axe. What are you thinking about that one?
It does give you sustain to maybe try and rival the Xingtian. Didn't he get changed to have infinitely stacking passive?
Correct. It's not infinitely stacking passive. It's the fact that he can go above and beyond the cap for HP 5. Yes,
that's a little wild.
It looks like there's going to attempt to be a crazy situation here. Loki ends up whiffing the ability, and he gets first blooded for it. A good 2v2 and a bad whiffed auto from the Loki just causes him to end up falling there. I love the gym. You know me on Ogni. I love this build on Ogni. Specifically if it's Soul Gym.
Have you have you played any of the high cooldown rate mode of the days?
Yeah.
As Agni? Oh man, that character with anything over 40% cooldown is just immediately broken.
Agreed, and he just recently got his change to where his ultimate doesn't root him anymore.
Right.
Which is interesting. I haven't actually played Ogni since that change has been made, but I'm interested to see on how that ends up working out for Bjart Skolar here.
Oh, I noticed the Hachiman went mannequins first for his starter item.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
interested
pretty
in
natural
why...
for that character?
No, so I would much prefer to see the Death Toll. Just something a bit more consistent on that Hachiman. Death Toll is kind of the starter item of choice for all of your ADCs at the moment, except for Heimdall. Heimdall and Rom in particular. Those two can get away with it. Speaking of getting away with it, I think they just might get away with stealing away the blue buff from Commando, and they do. Unfortunately, you have to be on those timers and bots.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
As now
This
they're
Loki is still
chasing.
in level 3, and Hunbat's hit level 5. I think we're going to see a pretty big engagement.
I'm expecting a Fear No Evil onto the Xingqian, and that's exactly what we see. A good blue buff invade, but unfortunately they don't end up securing the kill onto the Xingqian.
Right. They do end up getting...
the blue buff.
Forcing him to back air. He's going to have to use his teleport. They do end up trading out blue buffs. So I think this is a pretty equal trade, all in all.
But he does have the upgraded teleport now, which means that that TP will be up at roughly the same time as Bologna's TP. So it's almost as if nothing was really lost here, as far as the relics are concerned.
Right.
As we do have a little bit of a oddity with Bog, forcing out the beads here on the ADC is good form from Jay. As we have that same little split engagement, it looks like they are still trying to do something here, just trying to be obnoxious, if you will, and that's the exact support playstyle that they need. Do you agree with that, Dash?
Yeah, I really don't think Bog has to do anything aggressive this game. I think he just needs to exist in his lane and continue being a farm bot. This Loki has not backed yet, so he does not have the power to be able to take these fights.
Unfortunately, he just kept walking through the Ganesh. Good body block from Moonbot. This means that Bog should be dying here. Yes, Hachiman will end up securing that one away, as they are still trying to find something here. And this is why I would prefer the... So I would prefer the Death Toll on Hachiman. He still could have had some good mana and sustained through.
And the mid laners are going to end up walking into each other here.
And they do, as now Bog is flying back into lane, going on this Hachiman. A good Fear No Evil means that Ganesh likely to fall. Yes, that is the case, as now the mid laner is here. A good attempt on the mid laner's part, trying to Chernobog. And, as I said, I like the mid laner's build path, as I said it. They deviated from it. They are not going Chronospendent, like a good person. They are going Karen's Coin. I hate it now.
Interesting pickup. I mean, it is a good bit of movement speed. It is that percent pen that you will end up needing by the end of the game, but
and it
maybe
did get buffed.
Isn't first item a little too...
It did get buffed. It is now the same power as Obshard, or more power than Obshard, I think. As Loki ult just means that Bologna dies. Again, they can't secure their own blue buff. It is rough out here. Again, my biggest thing is I would have loved to see a Chronos Pendant on this Agni to help him get more aggressive. Right.
I really like the camping Bologna angle here because Bologna has no physical defense right now.
I think I have to agree with you as much as I hate it for our Free Agent 2 team. Bologna getting as far behind as she is means she can't be the lane bully that she wants to be. Unfortunate that we forgot about Chernobog just going into the wall and forcing out Plank's beads as we get a solo kill. Just kidding, jungler kind of sort of showed up in mid while all this is happening in duo. It's a bit weird going on here.
A lot of action going on all across the map. Killing solo lane, killing mid lane, beads pulled, big fight in duo.
There's a lot going on here.
We're getting a lot out of this game.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately
it's
this Thoth is just always under pressure against this Agni, trying to step up and do wave in the lane.
As he should be. However, that being said, he could hit the wave from his tower line if he just throws up his glyph.
Both ults expended in solo lane again. You keep trying to trade here, but I am really not feeling this death toll here.
Yeah, I agree. I would have loved to have seen the Warrior's Axe from this Bologna. Allowed them to get a little bit more tanky a little bit earlier. Maybe Loki wouldn't have been able to gank like they are right now, looking to gank again on his Bologna. But now Hunbots is here. Hunbots is here. Hunbots is looking. Hunbots is ready. As we catch out the Thoth Dash, Hunbots is now looking to try to do something here. Fear No Evil might be good. Force out the Thoth Beads, and that just might be all they end up getting. And it should be
ride that monkey.
You can ride that monkey, yes.
I said, would you have read?
Oh, would I have? Yes, because I'm a mad lad.
Ares ult expended, but
Ares ult
as Ares ult does with Chernobog, Chernobog just goes hide in the wall and just jumps out after the ult's finished.
Yep, it is unlucky. Still trying to put pressure onto this Bog, doing the exact thing that they're doing onto Bologna. A pause. Or it might be stasis mode. No, it is actually a pause in the process here. I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on, but what I can tell you is, man, this is a cinematic kill here onto this Bologna.
Going to fall again right here. I just checked, and the Loki does have his 2-3 up, so...
Yes, yeah, it does look like Bologna is going to end up falling here. As I'm interested in why we're pausing, but, you know. Yeah,
looks like the mid laner DC. Yep.
Not on Hachiman.
Well, we have a little bit of time here. How do you feel about these this game so far, man?
You know, I'm much more happy with this game from the KC angle, right? Yes, Bologna is getting camped. Bologna is getting kind of destroyed here, but it is a much better showing on this Hunbots compared to the Thanatos, this Agni compared to the Scylla, right? These more relatively aggressive picks in that mid game. And I am a bit shocked about how well this Ares is doing, honestly. He is doing relatively well.
I personally am really big on Ares whenever you could play that character. Just kind of does everything you need it to do.
For what?
Big auras. For Ares. The 2's really big aura defenses and HP 5. I mean, you got the chains, which cripple. You have the flames, which do 2% health damage, and then the ult, is just always going to either pull a relic or end up with a kill for your team. So.
No, I think I have to agree here. Again, I'm intrigued on how this is going to go. For all the kills in solo, still about a 2,000 gold lead for the Free Agent 2 team. Let's go ahead and look at gold, like net worth, if I remember which button it is. It is number 8, by the way, Dash.
Okay.
Yeah, this is about what I expected. An 800 gold lead in jungle, or about 700. An 800 gold lead in mid. A 300 gold lead in duo. Right, all of these relatively consistent leads, and a 300 gold lead in support as well. This is wonderful for a change of pace, especially for our Free Agent 2 team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at as well as healing done, by the way, Dash. We see goose eggs across the board. Do you think that's going to stay the same? Oh my god, Bologna lives! Bologna lives because they were in shield.
Wow.
Oh my god. You do end up losing your blue buff, don't get me twisted, don't get it wrong. Hoonbots isn't here to actually help with that, but they are stealing the other side of the map. That shield legitimately just saved that Bologna's life. And honestly, I'm here for it.
Oh, it looks like Loki.
Sick.
Loki end up dropping that?
Loki does end up
Yes,
dropping the
Loki
blue
did
buff. Yes.
Okay.
As now we are kind of back to square one. Man, I didn't expect that.
Nursing that 2,000 lead, but
yeah, just trying to get that 2,000 lead back as a throw onto the teleport pad just to show vision, I guess. As Contagion was the first item for Jing Chen here instead of the Breastplate of Valor. Interesting decision. I don't know if I particularly like it. I would have loved to have seen the Bobble build on the Jing Chen as well. As Agni is pressuring out mid, pressure is in duo. Are you thinking this might be a Gold Fury angle here in the next maybe minute or so?
I think it very much so could be. However, this Bologna did just eat a lot of poke and does not have teleport up.
That is very true. They do not have that teleport up. As we're waiting for the attack speed enhancement. That's what I'm talking about, my boy. As, again, we're waiting for something to happen, you know? Realistically, that's what we're all hoping for. A good stun onto Thoth means that Agni almost gets a solo kill by himself. He should be able to have heard the Loki nearby. A good beads means that Agni will never end up dying to that Loki ult. But honestly, I don't even know if he needed to beads there.
Yeah, I'm not sure he needed to beads that one, because now he's going to be vulnerable for another 130 seconds. And I can promise you Loki ult is not at a 130-second cooldown.
Chernobog ends up dashing a bit early. Jay might be able to see a beads burn potential here. But instead, they're just looking for this purple buff again. Looking to make sure that purple will end up never going to the Chernobog, trying to nurse that nice lead in mid and ADC.
Right. And I really have to appreciate how well this Hoonbats has just been sneaking back and getting all the camps off from the Free Agents 2 team.
Yeah, and getting the oracles as well.
Right, securing those is pretty big. It looks like we might have a little scuffle over here on this purple buff.
Yeah, I know, and I expect the scuffle to go both ways, honestly. As now Fear No Evil is used, Beads has to be forced out by the Loki. But Hoonbot rides the monkey bounce onto the Loki ult. Oh no, it's tragic for Rat Gang as Loki ends up falling there. Trying to use his beads and his ult to escape, but there is no escape, not from Ares, but from the monkey.
Right.
As
now if I am PGD Rat Gang, I am not 100% being like, oof, this is getting really out of hand, because on the other side of the map, the Xingtian is just feasting on this Bologna.
Yeah, he is massive. That is for sure. As now we're starting to rotate out of the duo lane. 12 minutes in, that's about where you expect the rotations to start, Dash. Unfortunately. We wish we rotated earlier. But...
Oh, the Xingtian stole the the blue buff again.
Yes, it looks like he did. Unfortunate for Bologna, he just can't end up securing it away from that guy. As a phalanx for the Bologna instead of the Berserker Shield. I am personally a fan of phalanx, normally. I'd argue in this game, though, might not be as valuable.
Do
Just because of
both
the
one Brock's phalanx?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Speaking of proccing phalanx, it looks like Hunbots gets Loki ulted.
I think he was fishing for the beads, but does not end up getting it.
Agreed.
So.
I think he ended up securing the blue buff on the side of Rat Gang, though.
Correct. Loki does end up getting the their securing his own blue
That
buff
is
there.
unfortunate. Truly.
I do appreciate what this Humbats is doing, making sure that his duo lane is going to win and win harder. Hopefully get this Ares out of lane soon so they can start looking at doing an objective.
Yeah, I would love to see the Gold Fury call here. I would love to see them try to push this lead, this full item in hand for Agni. He might actually be waiting for a Chronos Pendant. We'll see if he is. We might have to investigate our own boys. And that's not what you want to see. Jokes aside.
This Ares is out far from most of the red team. All the red team, actually.
Including Xingchen?
Including the Xingtian.
Oh my god, he is.
Oh, it just passed.
Oh, wait,
It depends on the
never
wave.
mind.
But,
Yeah, depends on the wave, but man, that is crazy. How much far he's stealing from his ADC, that is insane, Dash.
and the best part about that is that the Hachiman is almost 700-800 gold up on the Chernobog anyways, so.
Yeah, it is crazy. Speaking of which,
really
we have a
good.
bit of an engagement here. Sorry, I wasn't quite paying attention. A good secure on the side of Rat Gang. But now Fear No Evil is available. Used on the Bog. We end up whiffing the chain, but that doesn't matter when Chernobog does not have beads. A good ultimate means that Loki will force out the Aegis, but Agni ends up just soloing the other mid laner in the back line, as now the rest of the team is trying to go in and go in hard. As Agni barely misses out on the kill on Loki. That's a 3-for-0 in favor of Free Agent 2, as now we're just going for this Gold Fury. This is the aggressive play that I think they needed, as now Bologna is even rotating over for this. This could be a really great Pyromancer and mid-tier 1 call as well.
I think that would be a very heads-up play, but it looks like the Bologna is heading back over to solo lane.
Yeah, it looks like
Probably
that
to
is
make
what
sure the
she's
Xingtian
doing.
can't.
She's going to invade the blue buff.
Oh, she's going to go invade the blue buff. What a wild call that is.
You know, honestly, I want to see how it goes for her, as Loki is here.
Ooh, Loki does end up
securing it a little bit late on the 3, but a good movement speed means that she'll be able to escape with her life at the very least. Very interesting decision. I would love to have seen Plank try to go for something there, go for a little bit more objectives. Which, by the way, he's looking at this Bog like he is Snack, as he should.
This Chernobog is 3 levels down, no T1 tower to really have any type of...
Speaking of 3 levels down, 3 levels down in mid as well. Almost full team-wide XP lead, except for the Bologna. You need to stop the feeding there, buddy. That's a 1 death too many in the column. Yeah, we don't talk about Jay. But it is crazy to think how this is the team that we saw last game. They kind of sandbagged a little bit, too. Last game. Maybe that was intentional.
I really enjoy the free agent stomp a lot more this game compared to last game, especially not having to play against that Cthulhu. I think that's the really big difference here.
Forcing out the Loki beads is a great decision, as now Hunbots is not looking for anything here. He's just looking to make sure he can escape with his life. No need to use the beads, I suppose, as now Ares is in. Ares is looking at the ultimate, as now it is a 1v3. Xingchen still trying to find something. A good stun would mean that Xingchen does end up falling here. Yes, he falls to the Agni, who now has a Mirrodin and a Spear of Desolation. Interesting build from the Ogni. I don't hate it, I just don't like it.
He does only have 20% CDR. Do you think he'll work in a Chronos Pendant? Or
I'm expecting a Soul Gem. If I see a Soul Gem bauble, I would actually love this build. I still think that you don't have to go the Karen's Coin. Yes, because of the Tiki on red.
Oh, right. I always forget about that.
Yes, the 10% cooldown Tiki, the blue Tiki.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the call is for right now? Do you think it's just, hey, let's farm up? There's the Soul Gem. Get ready for,
I think the call should be to farm up. The call should be to farm up, get ready, stay a little bit ahead, as now, by the way, the lead that Xingqian did have is now voided for him. Maybe. About a half level up on this Bologna is the Xingqian. As now, I'm expecting to see them go towards the Oni Fury here.
Bologna's going into a, I'm assuming is an Executioner.
Could be
I pray that it's not an Aussie or a kin size, but
it should be an Executioner just based on the sovereignty. It is a kin size, however, and that is unfortunate. As I'm expecting to not see very many grouping up from the red team, I expect them to wait. Oh no, wait, hold on.
Ares just missed a point-blank chain on this Chernobog.
That is rough, buddy. Speaking of that being rough, buddy, good attempt at kill on the Chernobog. Hachiman does end up using the ultimate. A good beads means that he won't end up falling here, possibly. And a good ult means that it should just be Jay falling. This is a bit of a throw. They're just kidding. It's not just
dash, but it is going to be able to follow.
It's not just Jay falling.
Kind of left our both alone.
Oh my god! Ogni just 1v2'd and murdered people. Speaking of murdering people, Plank is about to get murdered himself, and yes, there it is. As the Fear No Evil is used, forces out the Chernobog beads and the Xingqian ult. Hunbus beads also down, as now Ogni is coming back in town. Ogni is here, never fear. As Umbats gets destroyed by the Chernobog crystallized curses. And Xingqian will end up living. It's a 2 for 3. As Ogni is still trying to find the Loki. He's still trying here. He's still looking for it. He tries to find the Loki. He's just is guessing here, but the guesses aren't good enough. As now
they're still trying to keep this little poke fight going, but I think it's finally over.
I think the poke fight ends up going in the advantage of the Ogni now anyway, now that Soul Gem is online.
I don't know if you caught that, but all 3 Ogni bombs were all it took to kill that though.
I did not catch that as I was looking at the Hachiman Ares. However, 3 Ogni bombs killed the Thoth. Nothing else?
Nope. It was 3 Ogni bombs and a stun. That was it.
That is rough, buddy. Speaking of being rough, buddy, Soul Lane, the same level as the support. That is a little bit rough, buddy.
This one has not had the easiest time this game, but
speaking of which, I wonder
definitely going to start making a little comeback.
What do you think Ares is going to upgrade his starter item into? I would love War Banner here.
I think War Banner is the correct play. I think Spartan Flag might end up getting picked up. Ooh, 3-man Xingqian.
He does end up forcing out the beads from the Ogni. The Thoth ult does not end up ripping through the correct targets, though, as now Bog ends up falling to the combined might of everyone on the side of the free agent team, as does the support. However, jungle for support. Free agent does pick up the Gold Fury, and now is a horse. The horse is out, and the horse is in. Horseman goes burr. No one dies, but they do end up picking up the Gold Fury and trading 1 for 2 in favor of Free Agent 2.
Right, and then I think this is a straight to Fire Giant call here.
I think so as well, either straight to Fire Giant or at the very least this Pyromancer, and they are taking the safer play. The Pyromancer will end up falling for the Free Agent 2 team. And a bomb on both frontline members of the team is a good look.
Oh, how do you feel about? I really kind of middling on this Shogun Finesse. Now it doesn't have cooldown on it.
Yeah, now that it doesn't have cooldown on it, and there isn't really any reason to have all that attack speed, right? That's the biggest thing.
Unless This is a Silver Branch bow from the Chernobyl?
It might be a Silver Branch bow, but even then, I would argue that you'd be better off just not going that item, or a Talisman. Or, in that same tree, an Absolution.
Right.
There should be a Silver Branch bow from Chernobyl, and he should be able to do it by himself. He shouldn't need his Ganesh to help with the Silver Branch stacks.
I'm very interested to see what this is.
As they end up catching out the Ganesh Dash, a good Fear No Evil forces out Thoth Beads. As now Thoth will end up just getting pulled back into the Agni, into the waiting arms of death and destruction. As it does come. It comes for everyone. Speaking of coming for everyone, hey Loki, how's it going, buddy? Just kidding. We know you were
He's just getting farmed.
Yeah, he's just getting farmed. He's chilling. He's just a little silly guy. Speaking of being a little silly guy.
He's just a silly boy.
5,000 gold up. About 6,000 now, actually. Is our free agent team. This is what I need to see game 1, because now that it's game 2, I am sad.
We're gonna have a game 3 if my predictions have come true here.
Honestly, I think I'm predicting it with you. This will likely be a game 3 for free agent 2 versus Rat Gang, unless they have a miracle play here. What are you expecting to change from Rat Gang other than not picking Thoth?
If we do go into a theoretical game 3, I'm really liking the Guardian solo. They seem to just get all of the pressure that they could ever want. I'm not feeling the Ganesha pick, though. I think that's really costing them here. Because this Grit Orc is not a very great at positioning on this Ganesha, because Ganesha wants to be like midline support, not straight backline. Because you also need to be able to get that silence off on the targets that you want.
That's exactly.
And then maybe the Loki pick changes. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything crazy out of it this game, but
it is a Silver Branch bow on the Chernobog.
Oh,
something of note.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting. I don't particularly like it. By the way, Jay still not upgrading his starter item. Maybe debating on whether or not he should go for Banner or Banner. As that is the correct play.
Right.
However, if he is in here and now he goes there, he's going to look real shady.
It's 250 gold so he can upgrade his starter. It looks like he's going to start pulling the Fire Giant with the Hachiman.
And there should be a relatively easy pull. Mannequin Mace is available on this ADC, and that means that Fire Giant will be shredded about as fast as if you don't crit. But Jing Chen is here. But we don't know where Thoth is. That's the main problem here, is Plank is now looking for the Jing Chen. Good chain on the Jing Chen means that it forces out the Jing Chen ultimate. No beads, however, means that Jing Chen does get pulled back by the Ares. And now Hunbots is here and uses the Fear No Evil on just one. But Loki ends up walking into it as now Loki's on the backline. Jungler ends up dying. Oh my god, the Agni Burst is here. As now, support is taking quite a bit of damage himself. If this is not a Rod up to Hootie, I'm going to be a very sad boy, by the way, Dash, on this Agni.
Oh? You think Rod here? I don't know.
It's not Chronos Pendant. It should not be Chronos Pendant. It should be Rod up to Hootie.
Right.
With the build path he currently has, that would give him 40% pin. He'll have 40% cooldown due to the red Tiki. And he has enough sustain with Soul Gem. He has enough power now that both the Soul Gem and Karen's Coin and Spear of Desolation have been buffed, by the way. As now they start up the Fire Giant again. As Jay
what I really would have liked to see
out the Ganesh.
Out of both of these supports is Void Domar.
I would have loved to see the Void tomorrow. I also would love to see Chernobog not ult into the entire backline of the enemy team. As, oh my god, wait, never mind. Jing Chen ends up coming through as well. Chernobog ends up falling to the Hunbots, and Plank barely alive, but is still alive. As Ganesh ends up ulting, a beautiful knockup from Jing Chen means that Plank will end up falling to ADC for our free agent team. But now everyone else is there. A good Thoth ult means that Jay likely to follow. Just kidding. He ends up juking just about everything. A good stun means that Agni falls instead. That's not what you want to see if you're Jay. As now it's a 2 for 2.
Impact I was looking for.
That is
Just
the
in time
Loki
to clean up
impact.
the kill here. This is a very easy cleanup. If the Loki hadn't decided to turn around, he probably could have another double kill right here.
He probably could have.
But with the support and your Chernobog down, I think here is steal this red buff and go straight to the Pyromancer.
I believe
Get some more
so.
farm on your spend.
At the very least, Pyromancer or Gold Fury. As instead, blue team ends up pinging out this Pyromancer. How do you feel about this Brawler's Beat Stick on Toonbots here? I'm not the biggest fan of it. I would have loved to see the Bobble in that slot instead.
I don't know what it's for because
Technically, Jingchen?
HP 5 is not affected by anti-heal.
I thought it was.
No, HP 5 is not affected.
Ooh, yeah, that is interesting. Again, I would have loved to see the Bobble.
Right.
As now we have 3 bombs.
Bobble, or even what is that item called? Crusher.
Bobble, Crusher, Heartseeker.
Right.
Anything in that slot that is not what you are currently going. Speaking of Bobble, Loki is going the Bobble. As this is going to be devastating for the backline of the Free Agent 2 team.
Yo, can I see player damage?
You may. Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh, Jingchen has a
think
lot
it's
of
about
that
what I
player
expected.
damage. Speaking of a lot of player damage, goodbye, Thought.
Full commitment on the boat there.
Thought does end up getting committed on, and hey, you know what?
I think this is also
Say
going
what
to be
you
a
will,
goodbye
this is
Agni
a,
moment here.
It is not a goodbye Agni moment, just kidding, Loki does end up cleaning up that kill. As now, Hachiman is just hanging out in left, not rotating over. A leap in by Hoonbots could be dangerous, but instead it's just to make sure that Jay gets out. A bomb from Hoonbots means that he tries, but no. Tries and fails is the correct call.
Right.
As now it is a
This
2
Xingtian
for
is
1.
putting in. This Xingtian is 1v9ing for his team right now.
He is fighting his entire team and the enemy, kicking and screaming, saying, "No, I am the one that will win this game.
I'm the one that.
This game is
I
over.
am the one who knocks out.
Who decided that? You know, it is crazy."
Oh, so it was the Spartan flag for the Ares.
I don't like it. He should be in the front line,
Yeah, I
not
think
the back line. At least at the start of
Right.
fights.
With the War Banner, you're able to in these lane fights, you fight in the wave with your team, and as the wave is just inevitably killed through the team fight, your team's just faster in general, so it's easier to chase down kills.
Faster, stronger, more
Or run
attack
away.
speed, healing. You can have it all.
Right, and vision control is going to the red team over the Fire Giant as well. It's
I
slight,
think
but it is
it's
vision control.
now enhanced Fire Giant, 30 minutes into this game, and we have gotten past the point of a lot of these picks being stronger now. It's why I like the Death
I'm
Soul
sorry,
over the Mannequin Meals.
I just watched this Ganesha auto attack down a minion wave, and I have to admit, Ganesha with 1.6 attack speed is very funny to see.
It is very funny. I don't think it's particularly grand, though, and that's the problem. Speaking of problems, I think we're about to have some problems for Plank or Commando if he keeps pushing up the way he is. As now there are 3 there, and Plank is getting caught out by the Ganesh. A good ultimate means that it might be a good kill onto Commando. Yes, the Bologna does end up falling here. As now Agni takes quite a bit of damage, but does end up getting the Jingchen in return. Jungler for jungler, just kidding, it's just the free agent jungler that's still alive. As Hachiman has to ult out, and now it is Jay and Cups going in onto this Ganesh. A good leap over the Thoth dash ends up making sure he stays alive, and Bog also ends up dying in the middle of all of it. As
Just remember,
Thoth does get
if
his
you end up
dash
getting
caught,
Xingtian ulted,
a good Aegis means that Thoth won't end up dying that fast, but oh my god!
yeah, this Agni
This
just
is
put out
rough.
about 6,000 damage in that fight, by the way.
This is
It's quite credible.
disgusting. Still 6,000 damage behind the Jingchen, mind you, but absolutely fucking disgusting. Pardon my French again.
I think we're used to it now.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
This one's an actual
yeah, it was
tournament one though.
so if you broke down that little fight there in that corridor, it's
Agni is
it's mostly
good.
because the Xingtian baited his team into engaging even harder into that small corridor. So everybody, I think he had a 4-man Fear No Evil into a bunch of Agni damage.
2 amulets
that,
of the stronghold here, by the way, Dash.
Amulet of Stronghold.
2 of them. One on Bologna, one on the Ares.
Right, I don't understand that.
I mean,
Very
280
much.
magical protections against 3. That is nice. On the
Yeah, I
Ares.
think I would rather have a Spirit Robe or a Mantle of Discord.
Agreed. I think the Mantle of Discord especially would have been extremely valuable.
Especially on Ares, where you're a character that's just going to be in the fray the entire game.
Speaking of in the fray the entire game, I would have expected Bologna to either go beads or blink, or thorns even, something relatively standard. But instead, they have gone to sprint.
It's a bit understandable because you have to be able to cleanse the horrific some way.
That is true. You do have to
Such
cleanse
a
the
strong
horrific.
relic.
It is a rather strong relic. I would also expect it to be due to the frenzy effect. As again, it's both now,
Yeah, right.
which is fun.
Oh, I forgot that got frenzy on it.
Yeah,
but
so
it's
that's
not haste. It's just the attack speed gain, right?
Yeah, it's the attack speed, and it is the sprue.
Right.
I think it also does do increased damage to objectives, however. No. It is slow immunity, which is nice.
Well, as we set up for this Phoenix Siege, it looks like this Hunbatch is going to end up getting caught out here.
And he
Lots
does
of
end
damage
up
coming right out,
getting
just
absolutely
deleted.
demolished.
And
Low-kill has been used, however.
Right, but you did lose your jungler, and having no Fear No Evil while they still have Xingtian hold up is very bad for your team. So I think it's a wise call to just back off. Your jungler made a mistake. That's fine. We reset. Go back to Fire Giant in a few more minutes here.
And about maybe a minute and a half, the Fire Giant will be back up. Actually, about 2. Red team is
Not
pushing
running down
them.
the mid lane here. Maybe trying to get this T2 tower while this Hunbatch is down. Never mind, as they all decide to...
Yeah, they see Bologna, and they decide, nope, we're good.
Nope.
No need.
Very
No
smart
need to do
on
that.
the team to stop their backs, though, and make sure that their German lock is not getting engaged on.
Also a very smart call from the blue team, I think, to try to go for this tower. This
Right.
should be a free tower. No one should be over here.
And as they Raven Ward, they are going to see the trio in mid
Enemies in
there,
mid.
both Chernobog and Ganesha, so they know that this tower is going to be free for them 100% of the
So
time.
how have you been liking the Raven Wards compared to the 3 Chalice of the Oracles we currently have in this game, buddy?
I really like the Raven Wards personally. I also think that Chalice is just free money come late game,
True.
especially after you've upgraded your starter item. By the way, it's Death's Tempers for the Chernobog. That did get a
As it
buff
should.
late recently, right?
Yeah, so instead of having 10 stacks, it's 5, and the effects are doubled.
Right.
Which is why Death's Toll is better than Mannequin. You know who you are.
I'm a little surprised with this slight split up here because I figured you want your Ganesha with the Shoguns to always be by your Chernobog for this Silver Branch Wombo combo.
I definitely have to agree. This was
Oh,
a
and the
Wombo
Absolution picked up for the Ganesha. as
What
we were
did they
calling
sell? They
beforehand.
sold something for that.
It was. Was it a Stone Up Binder? I don't think it was.
No. It was a.
I think it was just an Abso. Oh no, they sold the T1 to binding. They had T1 binding. That whatever that item's called.
Isn't Absolution in the same tree? No,
Lord
Absolution is
Stone?
in the Heartwood
Heartwood
tree.
tree.
Yeah, the Talisman tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. Again, I'm surprised to not see Bobble. I'm kind of glad to not see Bobble on anyone that isn't Loki. But Hoonbots with Bobble, extremely potent.
Right.
Speaking of extremely potent, looks like Red Team has all of the objective vision around this fire giant, all of the wards they could want, everything they could want, really. As we take a look at this Agni here, as I expect him to be the primary target, and he is, as he does end up getting his beads forced out by this Jing Chen ultimate, as now Loki is nearby looking for this Agni as well.
Ooh,
Both
really
carries
big on
had their
that
beads used, and Loki ends up dying. That's the unfortunate game plan of Loki. He doesn't end up using his team fight, or his ultimate for a team fight, use it for a pick, and he ends up getting picked instead. As now it is a 1-for-none. Fire Giant still up 38 minutes into this game. What are we thinking about here?
Judging by the 3/4, we want to call it 5/8 health Ganesha here, and the slightly damaged Chernobog, I think this is a, hey, we're going to have to give up this Fire Giant because our Loki died.
Agreed. I think for sure we have to give this up. No Thothel either means that this is much more dangerous. As now, Jing Chen is still trying to get something on it, as he does end up getting knocked up by the Fire Giant. He'll end up almost falling here to the combined effort of
my
Plank.
goodness, oh my goodness.
Plank almost dies.
He almost got the Hachiman with the...
He almost got the
Ring of
Hachiman.
Fire.
Thothel was being charged, but not actually channeled to completion. As Fear No Evil is used, Hoonboss ended up taking out the Ganesh, as now it is a 3-for-none on Fire Giant. Plank is going to walk back up. 2 members up. Enhanced Fire Giant on 5. Full health bars for everybody that is not Master Plank.
So long as we don't get wombo comboed by this Loki, I think this is pretty much game here.
Instead of getting wombo comboed by the Loki, we get wombo comboed by the Chernobog, as Jay gets a little bit too far up.
Ooh, really good dash from Cherno.
Beautiful dash from Chernobog to make sure that he does not end up losing his life. As
I think
honestly,
that was a very wasted 2 bombs there.
Very much a wasted 2 bombs, as the Phoenix will get melted no matter what they do. I would be interested to see why they aren't pushing. I mean, 10 seconds on everybody, I can kind of understand. No relics on Agni or Hachiman makes it much more dangerous.
Right. I think the fact that the Ares died there kind of killed their ending call. However, I think I would have just sent it.
I think I would have sent it too at this point. It is 40 minutes into the game. You are 3 Phoenixes down. You have all tier 2s up. Worst case scenario is Ares has to defend a Phoenix, more likely than not.
Right. But I really don't think, I think this could be a throw, potentially, from the KC team here.
It most definitely could
because
be.
This is definitely a way back in since you didn't end the game.
Speaking of
it's just one bad team fight, it's all it'll take.
20,000 gold up. Not that that matters at this point in the game. It's just 3k pots at this point.
Right. And we're seeing a 3k pot being bought by the Agni here, as well as a 500 pot. So, see how this ends up going. Looks like they're going to go for another Pyromancer.
Yeah, just try to get one more bomb, one more thing in their favor. But honestly, I wouldn't hate it if they just tried to go all in right now. Looking for something here. You know, anything to get this game over with, to get us to a game number 3.
Right. They're definitely playing really safe.
They are definitely playing safe. And that is the truth no matter what way you look at it.
Rectum window there, friend. So how do we feel about Red Team's defense here? Xingtian, Ganesha, with Loki.
With Thoth and Jing Chen. Oh my god! Agni just hits 1 bomb and almost kills the Loki. That was not an exaggeration. I did not stutter. As now, Beast forced out on 2 members of the team, as Ganesh will end up likely falling here. As instead, it's actually Master Plank that ends up falling. But at this point, I don't think it matters, as the rest of the team collapses onto the Titan. That's all you need to kill at this end game stage. As the Titan falls, Free Agent 2 end up taking this to a game 3. First game, first set of the day, Dash. It is rough out here for us on the cast, I think.
We're in for a whole thing today.
I think we're in for a whole last day today.
And let's give it back over to Loshak and Crouton.
Oh yes, oh yes. Wow, wow, wow. Let me just say, first off the rip, how much better Mini Cups played on that Hun bats. Absolutely nuts. Crouton, I don't know if you got to see that Loki ult. Oh my gosh, gonna make me. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see anything that warranted that, but
Yeah, the Hunbat's play was much better than the Thanatos. You could definitely tell that he's way more comfortable on that. And I mean, the Commando played much better. He was actually impactful, unlike on the Kakulin. Anything else that stood out to you?
I heard some mannequin slander during the game from the casters, which is just false, And really, out of this Agni, I would have liked to see a do more into a Deso,
If
and then
only he
taking the
wasn't so quick.
Charons.
I wish I could have relooked at it. Unfortunate. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
his
mean,
build was Charon, Deso, Divine, Soul Gem, Rod. Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely tell with that build and how he was kind of starting out there. He paid a lot of respect towards that soul lane and towards the front line of PGD. I mean, they played an amazing game. Game 1, game 2 they struggled there a little bit. Oh, looks like we canceled there. There we go.
Yeah, and that solo lane was getting ahead in the early game.
Yeah, which is a little odd.
Didn't seem to make much use of it though.
Right. It was definitely odd that the Jingchen was able to. I mean, he got that lead early. They were able to invade. What was it, like the second or third blue? And the Jingchen just did not look back from there. I mean, Bologna wasn't really dying. Jingchen wasn't really getting any kills. That lead just kept bloating and bloating and bloating. Most likely either from this starter selection and the HP5 difference that was available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, Zinkton never really got that far up.
No.
And Bologna just had a lot more impact with her rotations.
Oh yes, I mean she had really good ultimates. I mean that also got some beads out for that Ares, for the Hunbats. Most of the Hunbats, I mean the Hunbats just played really well. Most likely, my prediction is that Hunbats is getting banned off the rip. Right? If you don't, you're disrespecting them. I think it's foolish. But
Well, who
I
do
think
they give up? Charon? Yeah, that'd probably
right.
be a safe pick, but I don't know.
I don't know. That's the dangerous thing. Is like I mean they're banning very meta. My prediction is they may just let both mages through, like the Thoth Kook. And they just pick one. Wait, no, what they did that last time, huh? I don't know. Are they gonna let the Odin through, or are they gonna let the Charon through?
Epic Corp banned the Cuckoo last time.
Right. What was their
I
third
do like
ban? I
the
don't remember what their third ban was on the other side.
It was Athena, Cuckoo, and Cthulhu.
No.
Or on PGG.
On PGG.
It was Charon, Odin.
Right, and I don't remember who the third one was.
It was the same one as last game.
Was it Hachi? No, it wasn't Hachi.
No, it wasn't Hachi.
Kuzumbo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Kuzumbo. So I think they might give up the Odin, probably keep the Kuzumbo Charon. I think Odin's less impactful than those two personally.
So
Charon Silence with that shield is absolutely
me personally, knowing
annoying.
the players, I don't think Charon's worthy of a ban here.
Okay.
I mean, you have Bridork, he's a solo laner, he's playing support. And then Pineapple, he doesn't have a Charon.
Oh.
He just doesn't play it.
Yeah.
He likes the Agni, the Scylla more. He likes those bursts rather than the sort of brawly Charon pick.
I mean, hey, sounds just like you, man. You really like those burst gods, so I understand that. Something that I really kind of look forward to is seeing kind of how deep this god pool goes for the free agent team. Right, we saw the Thanatos, but we saw the Hunbats. Thanatos is probably not going to go back to the Hunbats, though. Was definitely something they're going to ban. So what's next, right? The other team banned the Daji away. That may have either been a target ban or just kind of like something they don't really want to play.
It's because they had the Zonkui. They needed to ban the Beads Blue.
No, they had the Ares. They had the Ares. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, PGD banned the Daji.
Right. So
Then it went
I,
triple. Hearts.
So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing kind of what's going to go next. What do you go? What GG go next? What's next here on the books here for the free agent team? And on the same token, is what's the Loki going to do? I mean, those were the. I mean, Loki was your kind of lookout player, right? What are you going to do? And I didn't see too much from that Loki this game. The Bastet looked much better than the Loki. Maybe he just goes back to it. He may just be a Bastet one trick, right? So what? How are you as the jungle gonna switch up how you play to be able to compensate? I don't want to say the lack of
Well, I think
cohesion.
in this meta,
Mhm.
camping solo is just not worth it. You have to get the ADC behind. This game, the ADCs just got the ADC, the duo lane, both of them got like 2-3 levels up, and it just was not a game past that.
Right.
You just
No, I
sort of
completely
have
agree.
to. That's why the supports are sticking in there until past like 12 minutes before
Right.
rotating and whatnot. It's
Right.
just a very heavy carry meta.
Yes. I mean, like what we saw. I mean, the Jing Chen was up 2 levels. Didn't matter even a little bit. Right. I mean, cool, you can hit a little bit harder, but I mean, we saw Bologna almost get sold out a couple times over there, but still, it was still fine at the end of the day and was,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
I
more
don't think
impactful than
I
what
don't
that
think
Xing
the
Chen could
Bologna
do.
being a level or two up would have made a difference.
Nope.
I don't think it would have.
I mean, especially right now, and it depends, right? Obviously, if Cthulhu was up, we saw how much devastation he was able to bring through in game one. But so it definitely depends on what you have.
Yeah.
But a Jing Chen and a Bologna has a little bit more play if you're up. But Jing Chen just, no matter what, he's going to do Jing Chen things. He's going to slow your autos
Yeah.
or weaken your autos. He's going to knock you up. He's going to ult you. That's it. It is what it is. He's not going to do anything extra,
And
But Bologna is able to hit harder, silence longer, have better block stacks with the attack speed built in. I mean, there's a lot more she can do. But I mean, to your point, I agree. Camping solo, unless you're on a high pressure god that it changes if you're up, it doesn't matter. Hor, I don't know if you're here. Do you mind going to solo laners or warriors if you're available to? I got a fly in my room. I'm gonna box the fly. All right.
God cards. What is this?
What'd you say?
God cards. I
Oh,
forgot these were a thing.
Right? I know he's a weirdo for it. There we go. It is what it is. No, but I mean, something that we're kind of looking at here is Commando has only played Warriors. So my guess is he does not have a Guardian. So what do you kind of want to see Commando go towards here? My opinion, it's going to be that Achilles. It was mentioned game one. I really like the Achilles. He has that execute potential. We've only seen Guardians from the other side, and that's something that they struggle against 95% of the time is that execute.
Yeah, it could be the Achilles, but with Jim being the starter item, Achilles clear is just not there.
Okay.
He's gonna get out pressured so hard. So I really don't know. Maybe a Nike, just so he can be left on that island if the jungler decides to continue to camp solo.
Yeah,
which
I mean, we're going to go straight into game number 3 here for picks and
Agni
bans. I mean, I get it. I mean, those bombs were pretty devastating. Not really the first one I would have banned. Probably would have banned that Hun Bats just out of pure respect. Get it out of the way. Maybe the other team would have banned the Agni. Who knows? No way. There's no way they don't ban the Hun Bats. I refuse to believe it.
I don't think the Hun Bats is really. I mean, I don't think it was worth a ban.
Okay.
I mean, he played well, but I'm pretty sure it's not the god that did that for him.
I mean, no, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of follow-up, right? Like that's kind of what we're looking towards here, is trying to take that follow-up away. Oh,
still going to be the dodgy up and whatnot. Yeah, Hachi Agni, the backline they did not like.
Yeah, no, understandable. So Charon's left open. I expect that to be an insta slam here for blue side. Odin. Okay. So we're gonna get Charon over here on the free agent side, right? We're not gonna let it go through. We're not gonna be foolish and give it to him.
Pineapple doesn't have a Charon. It seems like neither does Bjart Scholar. No Charon gamers.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's the Charon. I mean,
Oh.
the Odin can flex either into solo, jungles, support. It doesn't matter. Charon can go solo support. So, I mean, I think that's a throw.
I
Wow.
think that Charon has to go support. I mean, he's still a good support.
Yeah. I mean, he's still a good support at the end of the day, no matter what. I mean, I
Yeah.
like him solo personally.
Just
But,
the silence, the
yep.
root.
Yep, the shield that you're giving your backline, or even frontline,
Mhm.
depending on where you're at.
The attack speed's
massive
slow.
AoE ult. So frustrating. But I mean, with the cage, it's pretty devastating. So, I mean, we got a Bacchus top pick. I do not think that's necessary, even a little bit, especially into the Odin. Like, what gives? I don't know. I'm trying to process this here. Is why do you pick the Bacchus into the Odin? We have yet to see the Bacchus. So I feel like that was a direct counter to the Odin, and I cannot see the logic between them.
I don't know if they were expecting Bacchus to get banned after they picked the Awilish, or
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you have so many better picks, like a Nike, the Sobek. Like, there's a lot of other picks that do exactly what Bacchus can do, even better. But I mean, like, there's a Charybdis. I mean, this team is looking pretty nuts. I personally hate Charybdis as a solo laner, diving her, super frustrating. Pretty much 2-3 sets of beads if she buys beads, and that ultimate in the 3, and then just the actual physical beads. For this Awilix, it's going to be very hard with that silence, with the shielding, with the 3 sets of beads you got to go through. It's going to be a tough dive for sure. What do you kind of want to see paired up with this Awilix?
you pointed out the Nike, but this could be a Bacchus solo.
I would
Nope,
lose
it's
my
an
okay.
Osiris.
What? What is happening?
I don't.
Whoa! Wow! What?
Bologna's
It's
up if you
Charybdis?
wanted the Bologna again. I don't.
Right.
And I think Bologna's better than Osai.
Especially into the Charybdis. I mean, you can at least disarm the Charybdis from a distance with the Bologna. You got the block stacks. I mean, you tether the Charybdis, and she's just going underground. What is happening? I guess the boy said, "I don't want to play anymore. Let's just throw these picks and bans because this makes no sense." What? Maybe they're just comfort picking. Like, they're like, "Yeah, boys, we got to take the W here."
I'm
But I mean, the
guessing
Osiris
this is what this is.
doesn't have any synergy with that Awilix for that dive. The Osiris doesn't have a good dive against the Charybdis. It does not play well into an Odin.
I don't know who has Osiris as a comfort pick either. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I know Commando mostly plays auto attack warriors, like that's kind of his thing. But I guess he wanted it for the Odin cage so he can like use abilities to get out. But I mean, you're just better off picking like a Horus. Really, I mean, Horus has a better synergy with this team than the Osiris.
Cherno ban on her solo. I'm guessing they're not afraid of the on her. He didn't get picked last time.
Yeah, I mean, no Hunbat's ban. I mean, obviously they have an Awilix, so no Hunbat's ban. Duh. I don't know what I was thinking on that. So, who's getting the beads for the Awilix? It's not really going to be the Bacchus. Not really going to be the Osiris. So, what is the play here? What are you picking for your backline for the free agent team? Heimdall?
That's some beads
I think-
for him.
I mean, I guess.
They just decide to
definitely is,
go through with
but
it.
you don't get away from the Charon. You don't get away from the Odin. You can only ult one of them. So what? I don't want to see this Heimdall locked in. Okay, well, here we go. This has to be comfort picks.
So,
I don't know of anything
I'm gonna
else.
be honest
I
with
don't
you.
see a justifiable reason.
I am an avid Heimdall enjoyer.
Yeah.
I
He
love
is-
Heimdall.
Like the third or fourth, like most picked banned hunter right now.
Heimdall does one thing really well, and that's telling the enemy ADC to go to hell, or through the realms. Honestly, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
go meet a hell. You know, one of Loki's kids, and then we're chilling, right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
This is
gosh.
a
this comp
very
is nuts.
heavy team fight comp.
Wow.
This is
Yes,
this
I mean,
is
it
crazy.
looks very good.
And a
Wow.
Zeus.
Oh,
What?
no, they're throwing. They're throwing. I don't think.
I
Into an Odin?
love the Zeus.
Into
I
an
hate it
Odin?
into the Odin. I love the Zeus.
I hate it to the Odin, the Charon, the Ravana, the Morgan Le Fay. I hate it into their whole team, dog. What do you mean?
Well, you see, I'm a Zeus enjoyer, right? And specifically right now, all of Zeus's items are great. Conduit Gem is rather potent on the Zeus as a pick. I'm interested to see how they think they're getting away with this, but
Yeah.
if they do, it could be rather explosive for our KC team.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. I mean, like what we were talking about earlier with the solo laners not really being that impactful ahead. On the flip side, the Zeus being ahead is absolutely devastating to anyone that walks up to him. A front line, a back line, it doesn't matter. If he's ahead, he's gonna pop quick. So I mean, maybe that's what they're kind of looking toward, just trying to kill the Morgan Le Fay and trying to,
He
play
did
through
get up
that
2
mid lane.
levels last game.
Right, so that might be what they're trying to shoot for this time. But we did see that jungle misplay early that kind of facilitated those level leads.
This Morgan is a better farmer than Thoth is.
Yep.
Like she's
yes.
able to clear with a 3.
Oh, yes. I'm just trying to figure this out, man. He's not getting. I don't know. I'm baffled, truly, at these picks and bans here.
As
So I think the player to watch has to be the Zeus on this red
It
side.
has to be. And I mean, in terms of the blue side, I think on the flip side is how well does this Odin play? Right? I mean, honestly, I personally would have rather seen the Odin jungle with the lack of ability to get away from the Odin on the enemy team here. I mean, the Odin's not going to be super impactful late game because hopefully the shell will be bought. I mean, I expect honestly the Zeus to maybe buy another shell as well, just to try to get out of that cage a little bit better.
Heimdall, his regular build path doesn't have much auto attack speed. So I'm guessing Osiris is the main way to get out of that.
Tread. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about it, and the more I think about it, is the more I hate the free agent teams' picks here. It's really, really hurting my mental here. But
I feel like Willis just doesn't
It doesn't
fit.
Nope.
with the
And the
Bacchus
Bacchus
Tower
was
swap, it
picked
does help.
for the Willis.
Right, and then that was it. But like, there was nothing else to help the Wilkes. No Guan Yu, no Horus, nothing else to really get those beads out. I mean,
Guan Yu?
hey, we may be
beads.
wrong. I like Guan Yu. I love Guan Yu. Guan Yu
I'm
gets
like,
a lot of
Guan Yu doesn't have knockouts.
No knockups, just for the beads. Just for the beads burn. But yeah, I mean, great picks and bans over here for the order side. Though you get exactly what you want. You get the Charon, you get the Odin, you get a backline that you don't really have to worry about. So you just get to focus on diving.
And
So,
you
I mean,
get them off what you don't want them on.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of target bans there. I don't blame them on that. Let's see here. So let's do a little prediction here, Crouton. Who do you think's getting first blooded? Go.
I'm gonna say it might be Bacchus.
Oh, that's fair. We have seen him get low pretty often here. My pick is going to be this Heimdall, and we're going to throw it over to the casters.
Hello, this will be the last time you hear me, at least for this cast. We have a new caster on deck. Say hello, Tansy.
Howdy, Hort. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good, It's going to be you and Dash on the cast this game. We're going to see how that one ends out. I'll be spectating, so we have Tansy and Dash are on the cast. Hortlows is spectating, and good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Hort.
Never mind, I need to
I'm
cover.
not sure Das is here, so Hort, I think you're going to be helping me
Yeah,
out.
never mind. That is my bad. I need to cover.
He appears to not be here.
Yeah, that is my bad. My bad, boys. My bad. All right. It's fine. We're here.
I would say it's your bad he's not here. I don't know if that would quite say it's your bad.
No, it's my bad. Don't worry, we got it. We're here. Yeah. I got you. No worries. As it was so close. All right, fair enough. Don't worry. We will have Dash back probably in the next few games here. But
Gotcha.
so whenever you're in spectator, you can use your number pad to switch through people.
Yeah,
right. And
you gotta set that up ahead of time, though.
No, not quite. It's actually defaulted to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow.
Yeah, well, 0.
Good job, high res. I'm
It's
impressed.
0, 1, 2, 3,
okay, I had to
4,
ruin it.
and then 5,
Oh
6,
yeah,
7,
10.
8,
I'm
9.
stupid.
Yeah. But
There
no,
we
so
go, there
0
we go.
is correct, right? It's contraband. 1 is correct, and this is 2. 3, 4,
Skipping over a bit there, but okay.
and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful
Anyway,
day.
so-
Whenever you're spectating multiple games, that's what ends up happening. By the way,
There you go.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Anyway, real thing to point out. Back to your mannequin slander. Let's just have a look at both starters on both ADCs
I hate this.
here. They know what's up.
No, on Charybdis, this is horrid. This is actually horrible.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's all tech. I mean, on Charybdis, yeah, it's horrid. But on almost any other hunter, it's tech.
On Heimdall, I agree. On Rom, I would agree. Hachiman doesn't need it, right? That's the biggest thing. And he loves the sustain. He loves sustaining through fights. In the late game, Death's Temper does much more for him than the Mannequin Mace will. That's more the problem with Mannequin, specifically on those characters.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair understanding. My only debate with that would just be like, Death's Temper doesn't actually give you any sustain.
Well, it doesn't,
But-
and you don't need it in that point of the game, right? You don't need it in that part of the game. You need it early. And that's how Death's Toll
guess.
ends up working out.
The
Speaking of
only
Death's
thing,
Toll,
like I always just say, it's just like mannequins. It's basically has old Ichabod passive where it reduces the attack speed of the other person you're hitting. When you're, laning phase most of the time that's going to be the hunter. Well, never mind that. Curtis appears to be in a bit of trouble over here.
there's a little bit of trouble, but they do end up getting their 3. Speaking of Death's Toll, I already said how much I hate Death's Toll, specifically in solo. We have more of that here, as Odin is just absolutely demolishing this lane.
Yep. Yep. I mean, to be fair, I think Osiris is like one of the given the cleave autos built into his kit, it's like I think you can be at least justified with. I don't think that's.
I mean, justification aside, maybe, right? You might be justified with it. I would argue in this game, you need the axe.
Yeah, I mean there definitely is a debate with that, especially with like how Osiris 2 is like very good with like when you, if you especially not necessarily with animosity, but when you turn it into Sundering Axe, like Osiris 2 spam throughout the game is one of the best poking mechanics in the entire game, other than Thoth, which is actually unlike last game is actually absent. So the poke would be very nice, but it doesn't look like that really matters what he has because Odin is Odin right now,
Speaking of
unfortunately.
which, we do have a little bit of a gank over here, and we have a gank attempt by the Awelix. I'm hoping to see Awelix actually come over here sooner.
He's very patient. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah, he is very
He's
patient.
asleep, though.
That is the leap. Good knockup. Good feather step means that, well, they don't quite get anything off of it, unfortunately. But
Not quite, but still
go
a lot
out
of
poke.
lane pressure given Osiris was getting bullied, and now they're going to be able to get the Jimmy, too. So, I mean, that's...
yeah, you know, lane pressure,
All
you
in all,
get
not really a bad
Jimmy,
thing.
you get all of the balls. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the balls,
never
we
gonna
get
be a
this
bad
ball.
time.
The Heim ball
The
is
other thing, too, is now, like, you see Wheelix looking for all these jungle invades, and meanwhile, the Zeus is getting all of his camps on his side, so both of them are basically effectively
Unfortunately,
splitting the map really well.
Yeah, Awelix does not end up grabbing that big camp away, but they got the smallest. That's all they really need, and to deny jungle to the jungler. Right, that's the best part.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And in
Speaking
the
of-
meantime, too, like Zeus was doing their back camps as well to get him a little bit.
He
of extra
didn't
farm, so.
do the big totem.
Yeah, oddly he didn't. Yeah. It's
Maybe just trying to leave it up. Speaking of leaving something up, hello, Plank. It is 3 on your purple buff. How are we going to deal with this, boys? You don't.
We don't.
We don't. That's the
By
funny
the looks
part.
of it, we don't deal with it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, no
we,
invade on solo side either. No
Yeah,
counter
it is rather unfortunate for our boys on the KC team. With that invade, only 200 gold up, thankfully. But I also want to talk with you a little bit about this upgrade TP that the Odin's been... Oh, wait, no, he didn't go with this time. Never mind.
Oh no, he did. Wait, didn't he upgrade? He looks like he upgraded
He
it a
upgraded
little bit,
last
didn't he?
time.
I think he
No.
put it to T2 though, right?
No, he did not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
I think
But
he should
mean,
have, personally, but...
I mean, it's not a bad plan. I mean, like, given he got ganked very, very early, too, I'm surprised he had enough. He probably just didn't have enough money when he, like, because he backed after that Awelix gank. He probably just didn't have enough to fully upgrade Rita,
Nope.
so you just figured might as well get the T2 and move on. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a stutter, don't worry. That probably will happen more, but hey, it's fine. I'm a bit surprised about the stutter that I had in my game. But I'm also a bit surprised about how well this is now going for the Osiris. He's pushing down his solo lane counterpart. Oh, you know what? You know why he doesn't have the upgrade TP? But a health chalice. Shame.
Yeah.
Shameful.
Well, I think, yeah, as I said, I just don't, he probably just didn't have enough money after the gank when he got forced back to mine.
Good gravity surge means that Charybdis does end up falling. They get feather stepped out. A good attempt by Master Plank trying to get the Charon through the realms. And
Yeah,
Zeus also
very
in a little bit
unfortunate.
of trouble.
I don't know why Blue Star didn't press his 3 there, like, immediately, or even ult, but, I mean, a little interesting decision
I think
making
he
there. And holding the
did, but it
beads
might
there
be
too
latency.
is very,
Holding the beads
very,
is suspect.
very suspicious.
Speaking of suspect, Zeus decided to step up
Solo
and
kill.
died.
Hello. Solo kill on a Zeus. I never thought I would see the day.
Man, that's
Zeus
crazy.
gets soloed, especially when he had Doom Orb at the time.
That is crazy.
That's tough. That's a tough moment right there.
Ooh. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about this Charybdis. It's the first time we've seen this set going for Aussie over the Devourer's Gauntlet. So, I am a huge proponent of Aussie specifically on Charybdis, but I don't really like it in this game. I would have preferred the pin from Devourers.
I just think that this is an all-around horrible pick. Never mind that. I didn't have another team.
Speaking of a horrible pick, Plank does end up going through, so it's fine. The Crystal ends up
Yeah, but this
being
big counter
successful.
engage from a Wheelix rotating it.
That's a beautiful ult. Unfortunately, it lands on the Charon, but they still end up getting the pick. Lots of damage from this Wheelix, as now Robin, 2 levels down, trying to fight
two-level
into
lead.
this.
Oh, Feather
A
Step missed.
good Moonlight Charge means that Robin is still slow enough. A good Belch might end up helping too. Let's see if Suku can end up catching up, and it should. Again, good abilities. He just used that. That is whack
Feather
cooldowns.
Step?
The Bacchus ult to secure the kill.
Yeah. No, he
Speaking of which,
I mean,
it's
he already has 10% cooldown right out the gate, right? But I mean, I think they also
Speaking of
changed
2%
Bacchus ult
cooldown
in
right
80
out the gate.
seconds.
Ooh. We'll go ahead and check it out here in a second, if I remember which one it was. It was 9, by the way.
I think they changed it.
Oh,
to 80.
it doesn't tell us. That's right.
Oh, it doesn't show us. All right.
Yeah, hey, high res,
Slight
baby.
moment, but yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they changed. It was one of the only ultimates in the game that actually like moved down. I think it was originally like a 90-second ultimate for like the longest time, but like think
I thought it was
one of the
100
small
moved
bugs
down
they
to
did was make it
90.
80. That could be what it was. Like I said, I could be very wrong.
But at the same time, I just remember Bacchus ult as a big, beefy damage and makes me drunk, and I don't like it. That's all I really need to remember.
You don't like having a good time with Bacchus, bro. He is literally the god of partying. I don't know what.
I mean, I'd prefer to have a good time with Baron. All right,
all right.
come on now.
That's understandable.
I mean,
you
see that guy?
Justifiable. That's justifiable.
That guy's got some killer face paint. All right. And he is literally the life of the
I mean,
party.
you can look. He definitely. Yeah, he was gonna say his ultimate definitely is indeed called the life of the party. Yeah.
As now a Wheelix gets the beads off of the Morgan Le Fay. Good beads means that Morgan will end up living for a lot of this time. No mana, but you don't need it when you have a Zeus. Now a 5
when you have that
and
detonate
1.
charge, you don't need it.
A detonate
This
charge
is
and the
actually
shield.
really, really bad for Ivana now because this is probably exactly a 2-level whole 2-level deficit.
Well,
So,
we can
this
check.
Wheelix, although guys on the desk
there we
there
go.
did not like it, this Wheelix is
A Wheelix is
popping off.
what's the 3 best junglers in the game right now, right? It's Thor, a Wheelix, and probably Bastet. There's another kill on left.
KC is just absolutely.
Yeah,
going
you know
for
they're doing the thing I talked about on the death segment where they are just kind of running this game. They don't care.
Speaking
Speaking of not caring, yeah, a good Zeus rotation means that no farm will be done and no murders will be had. Also, side note, Dash did just point this out to me as he is spectating as well. Believe it or not, we got... Oh, he got feared out of the gravity surge. That is rough for the Awelix. Blue Star just got Heimulted with beads up.
Yeah, both ADCs must be saving their relics for Smite 2. I don't really know what else there is to say about that other than,
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
Smite 2
but you know...
around the corner, they're just saving the relics for that.
You know, good part about that, right, is with Smite 2 right around the corner, you know, maybe about a year off, hopefully.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully.
Everyone
that's
gets
it,
beads! Everyone gets beads!
Yeah. Yep.
We hate it! We hate it!
We really do, yeah. Not sure how happy everyone is about that. And you're saying that's good news. I'm not quite sure how good it is.
Yeah, well, everyone gets beads. That means you gotta use it now, right? You gotta learn now.
Yep, there's a lot to be learned to be done over Dual Lane.
Speaking of learning to be done, an Osiris will use to try to just live. Speaking of just living, hey Odin, how's it going, baby? You don't get to jump away unless you're out of range. Speaking of out of range, the Karen ult's coming through, and you can't get out of range of that. But nothing much, nothing else. We are vibing. We are in our lane.
Fun fact about Tyranol, if you turn to free cam and turn it to the right, you can still see that thing infinitely going, and it will never despawn. It will just go off into the distance.
We'll see if I can end up catching it next time. Maybe we can just end up following it if there isn't an impactful fight happening. Speaking of not an impactful fight happening, hey Odin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This Osiris, I'm curious if he's gonna actually go into the Kinsai or the Executioner.
He went into Kinsai's last
is
game.
Probably the better play, but
yes, Exley would most definitely be the better play, better statted anyway, and it helps with your pin much more.
Well, it's not.
And your 1v1.
It's more about it helps your jungler and the rest of your team do more damage, especially if you're playing a front to back comp, which I think is exactly what the plan is when you have a Zeus. You're not really trying to, all in dive the back line when you have a Zeus on your team, because Zeus can't really catch up to the back line of the other team, unfortunately. At least not as easily as a lot of these other characters, like Morgan Le Fay with a lot more range. But
speaking of someone with a lot more range,
very front to back, so Cyrus having it just shrimp protection is very nice. But fine, the fight going on.
Good Aegis on the Zeus means that he will just be able to live here basically no matter what. Can I actually get to the right person? No, I cannot, because they're already dead. Morgan Le Fay uses beads and ultimate, but ends up falling to the unbridled might of Zeus and crew. Speaking of which, let's go and take a look at the player damage. Odin obviously has the most because solo laners have fake damage. Speaking of fake damage, hey Odin, how's it going, buddy? I guess who didn't use Gravity Surge? Guess who didn't have mana to use Gravity Surge?
Yeah, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Osiris and
As
Bacchus
well,
take
you know,
that
yeah,
tower
Osiris
for
does end up taking that tower for quite literally its entire. Bacchus ends up taking it for half of his health bar, and is just relaxing. It's a good time over here. Kill the Odin, please. Please don't let that character be picked in any more games, though, boys. I would greatly appreciate it. That character is busted right now.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see it go to the solo lane too, especially when Odin jungle is like extremely oppressive. Like there's pretty much just absolutely no way to fight into it. Not to mention it's really strong against Heimdall and Zeus. I mean, I think the Zeus was picked last, so I guess they really wouldn't know about that. But
they do know about the Heimdall.
It's like it's very, 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 very oppressive into those characters. You just prop your 3 and run at them, and Heimdall can't CC you without burning his
And
ult.
I mean, they did
Same
have
with
the
Wheelix.
opportunity for Jing Chen, I believe. It was still up.
Very interesting. Big gank in left lane, though.
Big gank in left lane as there we go. Blue Star does end up falling here. He did some little dances, a little ring around the rosy. For all the 4 deaths they have, they do have parity in levels.
Yeah, no, I'm
interesting.
kind of surprised that Griffiths is staying as close as he is to Heimdall.
I mean, granted, I think it's because we're prioritizing literally everywhere else. 3-level lead in jungle, level lead in mid, 2 levels up in support. As now, due to the thankful zoning of the Awelix, and by that I mean baiting themselves and praying that they don't die, they are relaxing. However, let's go ahead and bring up some net worth. I believe it's number 8. There it is. Yeah, that's going to be the major deficit here. Heim hasn't backed yet. I think he should have a full item, however. As he does. Yes, he has a full Dom or Kin size.
Ooh, interesting choice, though.
Goes for the Dom.
Yeah, not quite sure how much I agree with that, especially with how insanely busted Kin size is. The only thing that I think, especially when you're going this kind of build in ADC, especially with Heimdall and having Mannequin and Kin size, I feel like just like kind of without a doubt, best. Oh, never mind.
Speaking of which, hold up, wait, 1, 2, and they should be able to escape. And no, they do escape. At least for now. A 2 means that they are slowed, but Zeus is here. Zeus is free. Free for Robin, maybe. Nope, just kidding. You are 4 levels down, buddy. You can't actually go over there. As now Plank is actually over here in the solo side of the map.
Wow, that detonate
That's an
damage.
early
I'm sure he's thinking
rotation.
twice about going at him next time.
Yeah, that's a rough time. As Charybdis actually gets the tier 1 over in Duo side due to this rotation from Plank. But Plank is deciding to go onto this Pyromancer, helping out the boys, if you will. Helping out the homies. And this is what I do like about the Dom. Kin size is busted, but Kin size only does affect the gods. Dom will affect everybody.
Yes, but the issue with it is now you pretty much have no way to go Titan's Bane in your build or Oboe. Oh, never heard this. Nope, just kind of taking the beats and walking away. But oh my god, that's Zeus detonate damage.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
that is rough.
Just almost one shots Lefay.
That is certainly rough here.
But as I was trying to say with it, I mean, it's just like the issue, like the ADC build right now is like you kind of need Oboe and Kin size both in your build for shred.
Yes.
But the thing is Dominance doesn't actually provide that 20% pen to Oboe or Mannequins or.
Speaking of not
Kin size.
providing, we're about to not provide very much content here, as Charon will end up falling. Yep, Bacchus will end up
Not
doing
very
it.
much content. This is exactly what we're here for to watch.
Yeah.
Just apparently watch the absolute pub stomp.
Yeah, the pub stomp that is KC free agent team number 2. This is brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the substitution where you can just pick up Titan's Bane instead, where you're still getting that 20% pen, but you're actually going to be getting that 20% pen on
speaking of
everything
20%,
rather than just on your auto attacks.
Now, I do like Titan's Bane, right? And I do also like the Dom, just because it, everyone deserves a good Dom in their lives. Am I right?
You know what, BB?
But jokes aside, Dom is one of those items that are kind of ingrained in the ADC mindset. I do get where you're coming from. Oboe Titan's Bane is rather potent. Honestly, if Mannequin Mace wasn't as impactful, I would even argue selling that in the late game for Titan's Bane might be a decent idea. Speaking of ideas,
it is just that impactful.
It really is that impactful. If you're Heimdall.
5,000 to 6,000 free damage on. Well, no, it's just 5,000 to 6,000 free damage on Fire Giant is kind of insane.
As Odin's up leaping in here, that is nuts. The Gravity Surge ends up going through. It's now a 4v2 until the rest of the boys show up. The rest of the boys are here, and Zeus will end up not getting credit for that kill. But Charybdis shows up. That is rough for your Charybdis, as many cups very close to living here, but a good bolt will end up sending Robin to the Shadow Realm. As now it's a 3-for-1 trade on the side of KC Free Agent 2.
I understand why Rat Gang is forcing fights knowing your entire team is down 2 to 3 levels. I don't understand why you're forcing these fights. Just get some form up on the map. You might have to sacrifice a Gold Fury or a Pyromancer or something like that, but like
how much can you do at
it's
this
just going to keep
point, right?
cascading. At this point,
Yeah, you need to stem the bleeding
just throwing
somehow.
themselves down. Well, you need to, but I mean, at the same time, it's like you need to, farm yourself up a little bit. Because obviously, as the game progresses, camps become worth more, so if you're behind in the game and you're getting later into the game, those camps are going to give you more XP and level you up faster than they will the other team. So, I mean, you kind of just have to bite the bullet and say, all right, we're going to have to give a Gold Fury or something else up to help catch up these levels a little bit, because now it's just a matter of KC can just kind of do whatever they want. Like, they have a gigantic gold lead and a
Yeah,
huge
speaking of the
XP lead. You can
gigantic
just
gold
walk over
lead,
and take that fire giant whenever they want.
8.7k in the lead. Both duo towers are gone. And a fire giant should be on the horizon here. As soon as Heim hits 20, I think that's what they're going to be looking for. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and look at Golden Hand. 3,000 Golden Hand. Very close to that.
Oh, he's going to go
full
kin
kin
size,
size.
not the mannequins. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he's close
again,
enough in
but
terms of XP. I mean, no, he
He's
could have.
right,
With at least one wave off. As now Charon ends up getting half health by the combination of a support and a jungler. This is exactly what KC free agents were looking for. As, man, they are getting hugely aggressive. Speaking of hugely aggressive, Morgan ends up falling here to a Bacchus auto attack. As now, a good Robin ult will make sure that he ends up keeping his life. As now Osiris is able to just zone it all by himself. And the rest of the team goes towards the Pyromancer. I don't know if I agree with this call. I think the Fire Giant is what we should be looking at, boys. And it might just be.
It's never a really bad thing to get the safer one, but yeah, fire's
It's never a bad thing, but you could have just gone for the glory. And by the glory, I mean getting me to my next set. Come on. Time's a ticking. It's 20 minutes into this game. And I need to see you guys get this dub. Come on now. Speaking of getting this dub, Zeus positioning like an assassin and getting a huge, oh my god, a huge lightning storm off. And the detonate comes, it doesn't end up killing. But now Odin is in. Odin leapt in there, by the way. That's interesting. That's fun and interactive gameplay right there as Odin gets half health. As, hold on, wait. Let's see if we can find it. Alright, come on. Nothing really impactful is happening, so we're just gonna see it off, boys. We're gonna make sure that it goes off in style. All right, and
don't worry, it's gonna keep on going off into existence. There it goes, on forever. It will never stop.
Neither will I, apparently.
Apparently, surprisingly, absolutely nothing happening on the map.
Yeah, nothing happening on map. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
It just keeps going.
It does, and we're gonna keep hearing it as we not go back to the map.
Oh,
and that's a fun time. That is a fun time, you know. We'll see if we can get another one in before this game is done. But no Mannequin Mace yet.
Well,
He should have
more
the golden
importantly,
hand
we should
for it
watch
in
the fight
about a
that's
wave or
fine.
two. Actually, just now. He has it now.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine if you grab the mannequins and go on the fire giant, I'm shocked they didn't do it earlier. This could have easily been a 20-minute game, hands down, if they wanted it to be.
Yeah,
They
it definitely
made
could have
25
been.
to 30.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. I hope they don't go to 30. I think instead their comp relies around them going to that 25-minute mark at most. Especially with how volatile their backline is. That's what I'm going to call it.
I mean, I don't think so, because, I mean, you got a Zeus on your team. That's
Yeah, you got a Zeus. You got an
stronger,
ahead
stronger.
Zeus now. That's the
Wheelix
problem.
is just always potent.
Yeah,
Osiris is just going to keep getting more and more harder to kill / doing more damage with that inside.
my only concern with the our other boys, you know, our free agent team, is that yes, they definitely can, but as the game progresses, Robin gets more and more capable of just diving that.
I mean, I feel like if any
Odin can end up going. Speaking of Robin, goodbye, Robin. Hello, by the way. I am Osiris. I am 1v4ing everybody. Speaking of 1v4ing, hello. That's a gravity surge down that forces out the Morgan Le Fay beats as Blue Star is now looking at a good old 3, a good old entering into that capsize to go away.
Bye, Wave. See you later.
Yep, see you, Wave. We aren't going towards you yet, as Fire Giant has been started by the free agent team. And I'm more interested to see how exactly Odin ends up going. And Odin just... He's leaping in. He's going for it. He is in his lane. He is committed for it. And Racking ends up getting the Fire Giant due to that Morgan Le Fay ult. But it doesn't matter when Zeus ends up killing your front line anyway. As now Morgan Le Fay has to use the Aegis to try to live. But a good Lightning Bolt could just be it. No, it is not. Lightning Bolt ends up missing as now a Wheelix is looking for something. Heimdall sends someone through the realms. Actually, just kidding. He ends up getting the 2 on that. The Robin 2.
Unfortunately, they all made it out. All the important members of Fire Giant make it out. That's not good at all.
That is not good. Oh, the Feather Step just barely doesn't end up killing here, but you know who does? The botches. Speaking of botches, he's inting. Wait. The shell saves this man's life. Hot damn, that is impressive. And now Plank is alone, but alone for now. As yes, they do end up losing the Fire Giant, but they are now 10,000 gold in the lead.
Yes, but the real thing is like they lost the fire, and all the right people with the fire stayed alive.
Yes, the Charybdis,
the mid laner, the ADC.
Speaking of which, are you a Bobble fan, just like I am? Are you expecting a Bobble on this Morgan Le Fay?
Well, Bobble's way too strong in the jungle right now. It's impressive as all.
We have seen one Bobble.
CDR just spamming everything.
We have seen one Bobble this set in the jungle, and it was on a Loki, and they lost.
Yeah, but that's a Loki.
That is a Loki. But no Bobbles otherwise.
I don't remember who they had last game in the jungler on Rat Gang, but...
it was Loki.
Right? No, it was Hundas, wasn't it?
No, Rat Gang had Loki.
Oh, Mini was okay,
yeah, Mini was on the Hoonbots, and they had a beautiful chase.
Yeah, that is exactly who you want Bobble on.
Yeah, funnily enough, they had the Brawler's Beat Stick instead.
Interesting. I mean... if there's a lot of healing you gotta deal with, you gotta deal with it.
It was just a Jing Chen. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, Jing Chen's not that crazy, so yeah, it's kind of interesting play, but, I mean, regardless.
Speaking of interesting plays...
Bobble is just kind of insane, but...
Minicaps tries for the Morgan Le Fay, but doesn't end up getting the Moonlight Charge through, as now Zeus can just detonate, and there you go.
They still did, yep, they get it.
Yep, they get the Pyromancer. They are now about 12,000, almost 13,000 gold in the lead, as now a Wheelix, very low, about half HP on this Morgan Le Fay. Whoop, that's the wrong button. There we go. Speaking of the right button, however, ooh, they're pushing the right buttons here to try to push down this mid tier 2. Honestly, at this point, boys, you just need to fight it. You need to embrace it. Embrace the fact that y'all are cringe. Y'all are gladiators at heart. And you need to go in. As speaking of going in, Minicups goes around trying to do his best Cure Me impression. Doesn't end up getting the 1v1 that he needs, but does end up leaping the Odin. As now the rest of the team is off. Minicups does end up having to use the beads and does end up falling. However, the ADC is traded out in return. Odin might just be next, and yes he is, as Lord of Afterlife ends up causing him to fall, as now it is Charon and everyone else on the front line trying to go in, trying to do something here. A good wave means that the Osiris will likely fall, but oh no, Robin coming in. Haim has a beautiful Aegis to try to escape, but he just can't make it through, as now it is a 2-for-2 trade, just about even, but KC, the free agent team, gets the bird.
Yeah, the thing is, you gotta remember here is that they are, again, up about 14,000 gold.
And they
all
lost
they're able
even.
to get is a Phoenix.
Yeah.
And tie a fight.
Yes.
That's not a
Granted,
good
they
sign
did
for the
still
future.
have Fire Giant. It's not a good
I
sign.
know,
Oh
but
my
I mean,
god! Ooh, if he had that Soul Reaver online now.
That's the
Oh,
second time.
baby.
But I mean, yeah, they had Fire Giant, but don't forget, it's like they got that Fire Giant just to be able to stall this game and last longer, and that's all that's what they've done with it so far. As far as I'm concerned, that Fire Giant's a success. You're not all dead yet.
Yeah, you know, they definitely aren't all dead, but a bird is down. The win condition is here for the free agents. They have to just find that good team fight win where Zeus, Haim, Bacchus, those three have to be alive. Speaking of Bacchus,
Zeus, I think Bacchus, the 6-0 and 11
yeah,
Bacchus,
6-0-11 Bacchus. Speaking of which, he's going all in by himself, 1v2. What you gonna do to me? Kill me? Ha!
That could be a bobble on a...
It is going to be Bobble on Bacchus, yes.
Okay.
I mean, hey, just imagine a 40-second Bacchus ult.
He is absolutely cooking.
Imagine 40 seconds on Bacchus ult, you know? Beautiful.
I'm imagining it. I'm
Yeah.
still imagining a way that it is good, but I'm imagining it.
Hey, it's a good time. You know, that's what matters. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time.
That's probably the most appropriate way to describe Bacchus ever.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do to describe the Bacchus. Speaking of describing things, I'm currently not with his team. The Rat Gang could look to try to do something off of this, but honestly, I'm expecting a bit more here. You know, I'm just honestly expecting a bit more from free agents too. They are still 12,000 gold in the lead. They are getting this beacon for additional objective poke. Odin is just trying to catch out this Awelix, trying to catch this Awelix slacking. Speaking of catching people lacking, hey, what's up, buddy? Odin is trying to catch out your Zeus, and the juice might be here, but a good Phantom Shell by the Bacchus means that he will be A-okay. Big damage from Robin, and big damage onto this Awelix means that Awelix does have to back off, but notably, still just about nothing in terms of the true team fight. We're still waiting to see all the ultimates
They need to
used.
just stay alive. There's still a 12k deficit here. So
It is still a
just
12k
stay alive,
deficit.
Don't die.
Yes, it is still a 12k deficit. Honestly, I expect Zeus to not get hit by that, buddy, as he does have to use the beads to try to escape. And he does just about escape.
That's very scary, that one.
It is a very scary thing that we've got going on here, but Bacchus more than capable of assisting all of his boys. Cup still notably with the Gravity Surge, and there's the Gravity Surge onto the Odin. A beautiful Awelix ult ends up costing the Odin his life. As now Osiris has used the Lord of the Afterlife to try to escape, but now Bacchus, a little bit too big for his britches, buddy, ends up falling here. Support for solo, but it's a 6-0. No one got fired.
I thought they were gonna pick up fire just now after they forced them all to back. I was like, that would be a really brave call, but it looked like they were about to do it.
They should have.
I think Ravana really wanted
it. Would have
at
been
least.
great.
Well, I mean, it would have been great if it wasn't for the fact that there was still a Zeus with his ultimate nearby.
I mean, yeah, but like, what are you gonna do? You know, it's just a Zeus with his ultimate. Nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, definitely nothing bad will happen whatsoever.
Speaking of nothing bad happening, it's just a Pyromancer. What's the worst that could happen? Speaking of which, Plank ends up taking that. As the Karen ult is used, this would be a perfect time to try just going for this objective or trying to force out a fight, now that you know one ultimate is down. But Lord of the Afterlife still down. For the Osiris might make him want to reconsider that call. Speaking of which, still has the sprint. How are you feeling about it?
I think sprints... Oh, yeah, there's big game posture now, but I do think... Wait, sprint?
Sprint on the Osiris.
Oh, on Osiris. Oh, I was looking Bacchus and Karen. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a take, I guess.
That is certainly a take.
When Thorns and Blink are a thing, that is a very interesting take.
He did it last game too. If it's gonna work
what
for
I think
him.
of it is an option you can choose in the store. That is what I think of that. That is something you can indeed open the store and purchase for a relic. That is something you can do. I don't know what else to say about other than that, but yeah. So far, the thing I'm really curious about, that I really want to see what this actually turns into, is what the heck is Charybdis building last? Is that about to be
That's a Silver Branch
Silver Branch bow?
Yep, that is a Silver Branch bow. Yes.
Ah,
that is standard Charybdis
that is
affairs.
the build right there. That man is cooking.
Yeah, that is standard Charybdis affairs. Honestly,
I don't know if that is standard anything affairs, but that is
no,
cooking
just
right
just
there.
Charybdis, just Charybdis. When I say standard Charybdis, I mean the average Charybdis player, by the way. I don't mean the correct Charybdis players. I'm saying the average, right?
I'm not saying the people that are correct. I am just saying the unfortunate average of players.
Yes, exactly, right? Because tank Charybdis does happen, right? So, we gotta have a little bit on both sides, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I need to see mini cups not get poked out as hard as they have been. Right? They have the 40%,
He's been
50%.
positioning very oddly. Now that you bring it up, like I understand like the playing from I'm an assassin. I'm gonna play like beside my team, but when you kind of draft the Bacchus I'm guessing specifically just to set up this Awelix with belly flops. Why are you standing off to the side so that when you pull somebody, your team can't follow up on the damage? So I'd really like to see Awelix actually stay with the team and then really try and prioritize belly flopping the Karen who doesn't have beads, because if you pull that Karen in and you knock him up in front of that Heimdall and that Zeus, he is gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he is
And
gone in
it's not gonna be
half of
fun.
a second. He's just gone. He's
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
He's done.
Exactly. And then, I mean, like, what's the other team going to do? Odin and Nirvana leap in, then Zeus is going to drop ult on his feet, and that is 3 of your frontliners all stuck in a Zeus ult. That is just not a good time.
So
I'd really like to see a Wheelix start playing with his team a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I think I have to agree. I want to see a Wheelix play with the team. I want to see Bacchus play almost a little bit more selfishly. Trying to get this bobble on mine.
What, you mean like going to get some farm?
Yeah, trying to get some farm.
Going to get some farm?
Yeah, trying to get some farm. Just trying to make sure that the bobble actually gets upgraded.
Well, he just sold it, so...
Oh, I did just sell it.
he might be changing it. He's listening in.
He changed his
Yeah,
mind.
he's
He
switching
decided
up
to go to
probably
either
Stone of Binding more likely?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate an Abyssal Stone here.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I still think Binding is your best bet, especially, again, when it's like, that is just kind of your combo here, is Bacchus, flop onto Karen, pull him in, one-shot him, drop Zeus ult on your feet the minute the front line tries to go in, and my god, he
That
just takes
tickled
0
him.
damage.
That tickled the Bacchus. It
Mage, by the
legitimately
way.
just tickled that Bacchus
That is
with that
a
3.
damn near full build mage right there.
Yeah, and that's a full build mage against a full build Bacchus, you know. Speaking of which, Bacchus
real
is taking a
penetration,
little
though,
bit of poke.
unfortunately. Yeah, no real penetration.
Yeah, only
though,
10%.
unfortunately.
But it's not a full build mage yet,
only
actually.
10 flat. I know, but 10%, 10 flat is kind of brave to go after. Oh boy, here's the initiation.
Yes, there is the initiation. Speaking of the initiation, looks like Odin will end up likely falling here. Yep, there he is. No gravity search used. That means that it's still available for this Charon, as we said. I expect to see Bacchus back here. I expect the reset if he can. Yep, there he goes. I want to see him reset. I want to see him go straight towards this fire giant. I need this EFG to go down. I need to go to the next set. I need to see new names, Tansy. Have to understand, it's been 3 hours, Tansy. I need some new people.
3 hours of the same name, same games, and it's only been 2 games.
This is 3
long-going
games. 3 games.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, this is game 3. Sorry. Yeah,
This is
I forgot I
3
missed one.
games. Yeah, you missed the first one. Free agents lost handedly, by the way. And obviously they turned on the Jets.
Absolute domination here, yeah.
Yeah, they turned on the Jets, and that's exactly what I want to see. As Fire Giant is getting gone on, but they're doing this very slowly. That is definitely true.
This is really good initiation.
A good
Great
initiation.
timing.
Great timing on the detonate, however, means that free agents get that one. As now it is everyone else. Heim misses the ult, but it doesn't matter when the detonate is huge. And so is that Thunderbolt. That Thunderbolt
Look how
of
fast he
lightning.
is.
As he is fast, he is swift, and he is easy. As it is now 5 people with Enhanced Fire Giant, relics up on the carries and the support, and just about nothing left over.
Unfortunately, there's no Wheelix ult here, too.
There isn't a Wheelix ult, so he has to be careful. A good feather step means that gravity search won't be necessary, but man, does it look flashy. As free agents take this set 2-1, and those last 2 games, I think, show exactly the playstyle they need to use.
Yeah, exactly. Just absolute W key. Go early, go early or go home. We're winning in 30 or we're losing hard. And in reality they won in 20. What was that, a 14K lead at one point there?
Yes, it was like, almost 14,000. No, it was 14,000 gold in the lead. That was
500
an
or
incredible
500 gold per minute.
That was an
Pretty damn good
incredible
stat.
game. A series of games for the start of this tournament. This is still the first round of our tournament play. We haven't even gone to round 2 yet with the Banished.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, whoops. But definitely should have made this a best of 1 set. However, what an absolute turnaround that the free agents were able to make here. I talked a lot of smack about the comp. I'm not going to lie. Definitely was a hater of their entire team from top to bottom. But they made me look a fool. Wow. What a showing from this Bacchus. I mean, he stole a lot of kills. Let's not say stole. He confirmed a lot of kills.
He most definitely did. He confirmed quite a few kills there.
Right, I mean, wow. Not what I expected at all.
It seems like neither of our first blood predictions were correct.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Bacchus was what 6-0 for what 23 minutes or so, give or take.
Honestly, I think it was a bit longer than that even. I think it was
Yeah, an
27
absolute
minutes into that game where he finally
nut
decided to
job
take
on
that
this Bacchus.
death. Bacchus and a Wheelix. Almost as good as
Definitely
Bacchus
gotta
and
get that
Sobek.
away.
But man, is Bacchus good right now. That is incredible. As we are going to take a little bit of a break here just to make sure that we are able to get these games actually done and dusted. Oh, and it was pointed out by one of my muted members in this current call here. Bacchus out-mitigated Osiris. That's rough, buddy. That is rough. That is Loshak leaving to try to make sure that we have our next set, which I believe will end up being the Banished versus whoever won from the previous round 1 set between Free Agent 1 and I believe it was... Oh, well, there's another guy that left. That's unfortunate. It was Tansy. Unlucky. Free Agent 1 versus the Lore Seekers.
Oh, hey, Dash is back.
Dash is back. So, Dash, let's talk about this game a little bit, buddy.
You watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
That's a beautiful game, 3. That's a good look for Free Agent 2.
It was pretty good. Couple mistakes, but nothing too major.
Although I do have some unfortunate
Also, I find it
news.
comical that the Osiris got out-mitigated by a Bacchus.
It is very funny. Yes, I will agree with you there. It is very funny. Speaking of funny here, just to talk about it a bit more, because I'm trying to make sure time is of the essence. You know, I'm trying to make sure things are going good. It is a great time to be alive if you are one of these free agents, man. It is incredible that they got that in the dub category right there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We're still live, right?
Yeah, we are still, yes.
Okay, yeah, just double checking. But yeah, definitely something that I never suspected, right? You come in, I mean, obviously, Crouton let us know that this was kind of a mismatched team on the outside of PGD, but still yet, I mean, a team that mostly has played together versus really a hodgepodge of different teams. Really what we said was a ranked team, right? Coming against a mostly comp team and being able to kind of edge them out is something that's very surprising. I mean, game 2 and 3 weren't really even close at all.
We will end up losing Crouton Crusader here. He is going to have to go to bed here. By the way, for those interested in casting or streaming, we're going to go into an ad segment here. Our ads. If you're interested in casting, streaming, or just happen to want to know or do it, right? Feel free to join us. Submit your resume by joining our Discord, which Nightbot will hopefully send at some point. And just ask. Ask in general. We're more than willing to get things settled. We are in desperate need of casters and spectators. Spectators especially. People that can actually stream on Twitch. Alright, so... if that's something you'd be willing to do, you don't need to be a professional because Lord knows we aren't. But we do have some incentives, including this month's stream challenge. The more you stream, the more you cast, the more you spectate, the more time you'll end up accumulating throughout the month. When that month ends, your time will be posted on a leaderboard in our stream schedule. It's a little spreadsheet that we all have access to. And the person with the top 3 times, right? So all 3 of those win cash. Actual money. It's great. What do you think about that one, Dash? Do you like money?
I like money.
Yeah, I think we all
Helps
like
me fuel
money.
my nicotine addiction.
Yeah, exactly, right? So if you're like Dash and you have a crippling nicotine addiction, go ahead and join us on the Spectate. Oh, brother. It's all part of being a part of a corporation, Dash. It's all part of being a corporate worker there. Ugh. Speaking of which, we're all going to go out on a little smoke break. We're going to leave you with some music. Or I might just cut the stream off here so that way we can just get prepared for the next game. But we will be right back after these commercial messages.
I need potatoes.
Mama said you're meant to burn as bright as a star among the midnight sky. All the pressure blinded me, but now I see I'm no different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, someone else. All we want is please. Giving no time to breathe. This is our identity. We turn our backs, we can't help, we're gone. This is our identity.
Alright, everybody, this is just a quick update. We are still waiting on one of the other best of threes to end up finishing up here, and then we will be back with KC Banished versus whoever wins between our Free Agent 1 team and the Lore Seekers.
Helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding all you're wanting a demon. Helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding all you're wanting a demon. And you took it all away from me. And you took it all away.
We're
If
back.
I can hit it. There we go. Hey, how's it going, everybody? We are back in action. And we're going to be spectating our next set of gamers. And, you know, actually, hold on. We will be legitimately right back.